Yeah, Prophet Marshall Currents back at it. So this video is gonna be about both sides are the enemy of these secret societies. Both sides are the enemy, and we not because you tried to be on my side, low key, without consent with me. Hey, listen. To me, I feel like you feeding into the game in your own different angle. In your own different angle, you feed me into the game. Which, maybe you don't know how I feel. It's how I feel. Anybody playing any games is my enemy. If you're not smart, or you're too old, or you're too dumb, you don't see it from my way. Anybody playing any part of that game, any participation is an enemy. And that's how you would feel too. You would be, oh well, that part is good. What do you do? Do I look like a person that says that part is good? Do I look like the type of dude to pick this part and say that part of this is good? I don't look like a dude that would say this part is good. Listen, bro, let me tell you something, Both sides is the enemy. And that basically sums up this message. You have people that you decided to have a change of heart concerning me. That's not my problem. That's not my problem. You decided to have a change of heart or whatever, and you think that's validated over here. It's not validated over here because you choose to have a change of heart. I'm gonna keep the same position and disposition with people that is playing any kind of politics game with my life. How I'm gonna know them? Anybody talking about me and don't know me. Anybody in my politics and don't know me, because I'm not a famous person, technically speaking. So I can see if I was famous. I can see if I was getting bread. I couldn't say nothing about people that know me and talk about me. But the camouflage, what makes you a target is anybody talking about me that don't know me. That's how we figure it all out. See how easy it is to figure it all out. When you're not getting paid off nobody, when you ain't getting no money. It's broke fame. No, who in the world want broke fame? Money makes the fame worth it. But only most of these homosexuals want fame in America. I don't want fame. Fame ain't nothing to me. Fame ain't nothing to somebody from the streets. For everybody to know you, how you gonna do anything? I'm just saying, if you was the criminal, how you gonna do anything criminal in nature? I'm a Christian, but I couldn't sell drugs if I wanted to. And I'm not saying that for clicks. I'm not saying that for controversy. I'm not saying that for people to watch this video. I'm just saying I couldn't sell drugs if I wanted to because of all this foolishness going on. How am I gonna sell drugs? So look at that for what it is. That's blocking. Besides drugs, that's blocking my livelihood. You don't see it that way. Yes, that is. See, you a clown. That's why you don't see it that way. That's blocking my livelihood. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't hustle out here if I want. And that's even clean legal hustles. Okay? I don't care that you're having a personal civil war in your secret societies. I don't care that you're having a civil war. See, this is what nobody is saying that's talking about gang stalkers. I don't care that you're having a civil war in secret societies. If you're having a civil war, that's the ignorance of your community. That's the ignorance of your people. That's the niggas of your community. I don't care about that. They don't put no money in my pocket. They don't support me. God protects me. And while I'm saying that, I'm glad to say this. Listen, God is my protection. Don't flatter yourself and think you're doing something for me. Because if you step back, God will step in. You understand? So you're really, if you're smart, you understand this. You're really protecting them. Because if you move, God gonna take care of it. If you move and they think they want to do something against me, God gonna take care of it. So you're really protecting them, bro. You ain't protecting me. You flattered yourself. I ain't never asked you to protect me. I ain't never asked people to stand up and defend me in this situation, did I? You notice that? I ain't never asked nobody, yo, y'all need to defend a real one. Y'all need to stand up for a real one. I ain't never say nothing to that degree. You notice that? Listen, you can't even find in all my videos. I got over 1,000 something videos with all my pages. You can't find me telling people to stand up and defend me, whether it be people in the culture, whether it be black people. I ain't never asked nobody to come out here and defend me. You see what I'm saying? So how would you feel if these people thinking they playing a position that you didn't tell them to play? How would you feel if people playing positions you didn't tell them to play? I ain't tell you to play them positions, did I? Okay then. So you don't get no credit from me when you wasn't man enough or woman enough to come to me and talk to me face to face. See, it's all about respect, man. That's what it all boils down to. And respect can save your life, or disrespect can take your life. And I don't think you really believe that, because you hide behind, especially if you come from certain different neighborhoods, you don't know how real life can be, because you ain't really been through. Nobody never threatened your life. See, I was robbed at gunpoint when I was a child. That's what you don't know. I was a child. I was robbed at gunpoint as a child. So I know what it feels like to be in danger in the front of a gun, where a gun could just go off for any reason. It happens all the time. For whatever reason, somebody reaching and you know what I'm saying, got the gun in their hand, and just all it takes is a flick of the finger for whatever reason, and you in prison thinking, why did my hand go off? Why did the gun go off? That's how easy it is, because you could just push on the trigger, not like just your mind reflexing or whatever, and you know how many people in prison because of that? They still can't wrap their mind around why did they push the trigger on the gun when they was holding it. They didn't tell themselves to do it. It's just a physical reflex, right? Or you might be picking up something while you got the gun or something, and then you happen to push it, it's all over. So with that being said, anytime you're in front of a gun, your life could always be taken. You can never let nobody trivialize that. Your life could always be taken. If somebody pull a gun on you, that's why people take it seriously. For that reason. The gun could have went off for any reason as soon as you pulled it out. And if you messed around with guns enough, you yourself done messed around with a gun and it done went off. I have myself. Playing around the gun and it goes off. Everybody done that. If you play around with any guns long enough, you done played around with a gun and it done went off. And it didn't seem like it should have, did it? When it went off, it didn't seem like it should have went off. So, most people gonna say that. Anytime a gun went off, and I didn't mean to shoot it, it didn't seem like it should have went off. So, with that being said, you gotta separate me from corny people, bro. I'm just saying, bro. You got to. You know what I'm saying? Corny people they money can't keep them in these situations. You know what I'm saying? Because now people don't value your money. Your money ain't no good no more. These secret societies, I already know your money ain't no good. Cause people start to value more than money. Okay? And so you can't use me as a scapegoat when you a lame. It's always gonna work out in my favor. I'm sorry to tell you that. But I'm not sorry to tell you that. You can't use me as a scapegoat when you done made yourself look like a lame out here. That's it. That's all. That's all real ones want to see. Nah, we don't try to manipulate you a lame, bro. Don't try to manipulate that. Don't try to manipulate that. You a lame, and he not. He not a lame. You are. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to manipulate that. You got to stand right there and stay in the position you was in. Okay? You did what you did. You said what you said. You moved how you moved. You thought how you thought, and you a lame in that situation. And you ain't gonna manipulate to make yourself look good. That's how we know what type of people you are. You the type of person to try to manipulate to make yourself look good. It ain't gonna work. Who you think you fooling? Ain't nobody. I'm not fooling anybody. I'm transparent as they come. I done went through these situations a million times. I done show people these situations a million times, and ain't nobody honoring nothing without any charges. Ain't nobody honoring psychological stuff. We don't care nothing about that. You set up a big circus, a psychological circus, that nobody don't care about it. And then when people realize I'm a prophet and you even paying for these psychological circuses, listen, they want you to sit down somewhere, because I really do manifest. I really do get stuff done. And even the little goofy stuff you're doing with these psychological circuses, you know, we taxing on that too. Well, if I'm spiritual, you don't think, and I see things that for what they are that a normal person wouldn't see, you don't think I'm gonna tax on it? Because I know what you're doing. Come on, bro. Come on. The streets would do the same thing. Soldiers would do the same thing. Natural soldiers. I'm a spiritual soldier. Anybody would do the same thing if they could, and I can. And everybody know I can. So guess what? They're gonna treat it like it's a tangible situation where you're a threat to the community for playing psychological circus games. They looking at that like you coming over here and causing physical problems. You see what I'm saying? That's how they looking at it, because I'm taxing on it. Because I'm taxing on it and I manifest on it, right? They gonna start looking at your situation as physical operations. That's how they gonna look at it. Whether it's people in this building, whether it's people in this neighborhood, whether it's people in Brooklyn, wherever. I don't care who it is, because we play by the same rules. Listen, your doo-doo stank just like everybody else doo-doo stank in Brooklyn. Brooklyn doo-doo stank just like everybody else's. You ain't got no gold turds coming out your butt, do you? Okay, so listen, man. Your doo-doo stank just like everybody else. You put your pants on one leg at a time like everybody else. But hey, Brooklyn can't put that old legacy pressure on me because of what you done and who you came up with. I don't care about that. Cause I'm the jungle. I'm the jungle, buddy. You know what that means? I am more aware that we all gonna play by the same rules and regulations at the end of the day. That's all I care about, man. That's all. And if you don't play by our rules, God gonna take care of that anyway. And that's for the secret societies. Those who don't play by our rules, listen. Now you see God can take care of it. Because what I want you to understand is we all about the escalation of these wars that's going on. I'm all about the escalation. Because the more it escalates, these wars escalates around the world, the more they escalate, it's going to cause problems here in the United States of America. So we all about that escalation. I'm glad that happened. I hate that stuff had to happen to Iran for there to be enough escalation for people to hate America and to fight America. But it got, every war has casualties. Like even Trump will say, every war got casualties. So we got casualties, people that on the righteous side that, have to play their position and have to become a casualty in order for our cause to go forward, where these Americans are taxed. These Americans are hated. These Americans are attacked. You know what I'm saying? So escalation has to happen. That works for us, where we don't have to fight a physical war, because with all the stuff that you're doing, with all the escalation of wars that you involve yourself in, we ain't got to lift a finger as God's people to do anything to you. We ain't got to lift a finger. So killing the leader of Iran, that's going to be a problem. It's going to be, and see, that's going to be a different type of animal. That ain't going to necessarily be a marching army. You're going to deal with insurgents, insurrections, revolts, rebellions. You got to look out for invisible insurrections, invisible rebellions for to the end of the world. That's just what it is, you know. So I'm glad for that escalation. Just in case you wonder why I was celebrating, I'm not celebrating because of the overthrowing of the Iranian leader. I'm celebrating because I know that's one step closer to escalation against the United States. It's what it is. It's what it is, bro. You know, it's what it is. You know, so we play chess. You know, chess always has more than one view for a move, if that makes sense. You know, it's always more than one move involved. Within one move, it's always something else thought about with any moves, right? So with this move of escalation in the mind of chess, I know that ultimately these escalations is going to cause problems here for the gang stalkers, for the Freemasons, for all these culture people, for all these Wingstop eating culture people. You gonna have problems with the escalation of wars. It's gonna get you, and that's why we want the escalation, because it's gonna get these Freemasons, and it's gonna get these Illuminati members. It's gonna get all these secret society people as things escalate. That's why we embrace it. Now you see why we embrace it. It's deeper than America. You know, so it's deeper than America. It's about the escalation to get these people. So that's why America many people here, they got their mind, their head on right. They're gonna be on my side because they're gonna see it my way. That ultimately these things, there has to be escalation in order to take care of all of this foolishness out here. It has to be. It has to be significant escalation for us to take care of these everyday bums that are had like they're a bum when these wars pop off. No pun intended. You know, they gonna hide like bums. They gonna crawl in the corner like a homeless man while we still out here with our chests out. You know, standing. You know, we in the trenches. Now these gay dudes gonna hide off, gonna duck off like the gay dudes they are. You know what I'm saying? Now they don't want no smoke because these wars popping off. You know what I'm saying? See. They ain't built for it, but they gonna pay for it. You ain't built for it, but you gonna pay for it. You got a tab. You done ran up your tab, buddy. That's how it is. We enforce worse than gangsters, man. You gonna understand this. That's why I told people we worse than the mob. We gonna be respected like the mob. They project that. These little Illuminati members think they gang and they not, bruh. Man, what kind of gang you supposed to be? You done took from the culture and act like you gang, bruh. You not gang, man. Stop playing. Yeah, man. I mean, that's why we're not letting people get away with coming out here acting like they gang and haphazardly trying us, and then think they got the luxury of feeling that feeling without taking what comes with it. I take everything that come with what I do and what I say. And I embrace everything that come with it. God gonna take care of it. Because everything gotta be spoken as it is. And I take what come with it. The truth gotta be spoken for what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I take what comes with that. Because that's all I'm speaking is the truth. I know what all this is about. So you can't talk about children to me, and I'm a grown man with my own son, 19-year-old son. You can't act like I'm a little gay dude that ain't got no children. You know what I'm saying? These little gay dudes ain't got no children. They didn't do what God commanded them to do, which is to be fruitful and multiply. Okay, so these lesbians didn't do what they supposed to do and be fruitful and multiply. You sucking on fruit, but you didn't be fruitful to multiply. But you sucking on fruit though. You sucking on fruit, but you didn't be fruitful to multiply. Listen, man, listen. I'm saying it exactly how it need to be said. You know, it's time for men to be men. You know, I don't embrace no lesbians. If I don't embrace gay people, I don't embrace lesbians either. See, half of these rappers embrace lesbians for your own filthy pleasures. I can show you all these rappers that got lesbian rap lines in they music. I like a girl to go both ways, all them kind of lines. Okay then, okay, so you've embraced lesbianism, and for a man of God, listen, y'all embrace gay the whole time through lesbians. So if you a straight man, this how you need to hear it. Before God and before prophets and real high-ranking soldiers, you have embraced lesbians, which is under the same banner as homosexuals and gay people. You still embrace basically a gay spirit. And these are supposed to be straight men. See how the devil got you? You still embrace gay spirit because of a gay girl, a gay female. That's all I'm saying. Why you talking about you strictly women, but you embrace women with other women. So you're not as clean as you think you are. You still embracing gay banners. You still embrace gay banners. And that's for the straight dudes. You like to see two women have sex? Listen, bro. You mess around with gay spirits. That's how you need to hear it. You mess around with gay spirits. You like to interact with two women having sex with each other. You're interacting with a gay spirit. Because it's a bias in this community concerning lesbians, and they can rock under any circumstance. Even these stud girls, they can get into any room with the homies. But gay dudes is excluded. But it's the same spirit. It's still a gay spirit. To a prophet, it's still a gay spirit. And to some women, it's just as disgusting as a man is with a man. Because a woman knows her own uncleanliness. A woman knows it. A man don't know no better. Another woman know how unclean a woman is. Just like a man knows how unclean a man is. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we all know. The same gender knows how unclean the same gender is. So for a lot of people, lesbians is funky and unclean. It's despicable and disgusting. When a woman knows her own uncleanliness. Okay? I don't rock with gay people. I'm unapologetically separate from them. I'm unapologetically separate from lesbians. I'm unapologetically separate from the whole gay community. I don't apologize for it. People gotta grow tough skin. Everybody ain't gonna accept you anyway. And I'm one of them. I don't accept you. I don't accept what you do. I don't accept what you stand for. I don't accept you. And that's life. I ain't asking you to accept me. I ain't asking you to accept me being a Christian. I know everybody ain't going to accept me being a Christian. But you don't see me crying about it, trying to make everybody accept me as a Christian. Y'all cripple and enable people like them where they don't act like they going to have no enemies or nobody that oppose them. And so they lash out and act out and wind up getting killed or in trouble because they can't deal with the real things in the real world that we all deal with, which is whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're gay or straight, everybody ain't gonna love you, and that's life. You can't kill everybody that don't love you. If you black or gay or whatever, you can't go out here and kill everybody that hates you. You have to, that's part of life. You have to learn, especially as black people, you have to learn to navigate. That's the true strength of a person. Everybody ain't gonna love you. That's life. I ain't actually everybody. I ain't out here crying about people not loving me. You got black people crying about it. You got gay people crying about it. Everything in between crying about it. But these are the same people that say they got tough skin. I can't tell. See, it's more than one way to be tough. It's more than one way to be tough. Not just pulling a gun on somebody. You could be tough physically. You could be tough intellectually, emotionally. And some people are not. They big babies. They big old babies. crying and going, look at them crying to other people about what somebody else saying. You don't see it my way. Black people crying about what somebody else is saying. Gay people crying about what somebody else is saying. I thought you was a grown man. I thought you was tough. You can't say I'm the same way. I took everything they had to say about me. I took everything they had to say. Right or wrong. Right or wrong. I took everything they had to say. You don't see me falling apart about it. So I passed tests that you haven't. Listen, I ain't losing no sleep about you worried about whatever you heard about me. I promise you I'm not. I'm too old and too grown to care. I'm too grown to care. So you are yet to do what I've done. I can take anything you got to say, long as it's the truth. If it's not the truth, I'm challenging it. I'm challenging anything that's not true. Now with you, it's the truth. You crying around, crying like a little baby, you ever seen children like that go crying to their mama? Can't stand people like that. My brother was like that, crying to his mama. Crying to your mama, man. You know, so I can't stand people like that. You know, grown men doing that. Crying to your mama. Crying to other people. Instead of handling your own affairs and own problems and drama. I handle my own problems and drama. I ain't asked nobody to come and help me. I ain't asked people to try to be my security. You try to make yourself my security. Imagine that, bro. Nah, we don't need that. I don't need it. And that's that, bro. Like, don't listen. Don't play me. Don't try to play me, right? Well, you don't think I'm, as a black man, I'm going to know when people thinking they coming in and doing something for me. And you think you're going to get some reputation. You think you're on my side. Try them corny Americans like that, man. I'm a black man. You can't try me like I'm a read between the lines. I'm going to see everything for what it is. I'm going to know every little move you make. In this corny little circus that you got around me, watching my mind and watching what I do, that's why we ended in the country. So you realize this. It's not that I don't know, right? Can we establish this? I've known you've been doing this for years. Well, you've been in my atmosphere, watching my thoughts, and it ain't gonna mean nothing, because soon as somebody jump, we gonna tear up the whole country. In an instant. You don't realize that we can go from this happening slow, or we can go to it jumping up and happening fast, to where this is over instantly. Well, we can start pulling this down today. I don't think you realize that. It can go from one gear to the other. We can hit another gear and take off and it's all over. You realize that, right? Okay. It's all in what you do. It's all in what you decide to do that determines what gear this going to be in. Okay? We are not slowing down for amateurs that don't understand what the games they playing. Niggas shouldn't have came out here. In other words, ignorant people. Little chicken heads shouldn't have came out here. We ain't going to slow down and try to sympathize with ignorant people. You know enough not to be playing with people you don't know, and that's it. You know not to play with people you don't know, right? That's enough. That's enough. Your parents teach you that. Okay, so then, keep in mind, I'm a man that got numbers. People know I got numbers in my spirituality. And I'm not bragging, but I done caught a body over here in spirituality. People done died for when I fast against a certain person, they died. And you don't gotta believe I'm a God or not. I can show you how death happens in the Bible from spiritual warfare, from playing with God's people. You ain't talking to no religious person. So I ain't gonna ever feel intimidated by the perspective of a Christian in America. Not a glitzy America. This culture, these Christians ain't the best Christians. Oh, I guess because you thought American will produce all the great stuff. They produce the greatest Christian. The greatest Christians is in Africa. The best Christians, most of them is either in South America or Africa. One of the two. I say even Mexico too. Mexico, South America, or Africa. That's where the best Christians are at. That's what it is. You know, and outside of America, where people ain't got no distractions with the culture and all this filthy stuff going on here. But you just assumed, you know, subconsciously that y'all produce the best Christians. No, you don't. Listen to the Christians that's here. Listen to them. They compromise. They part of the culture. I check and see what's going on in the culture. Yeah, but I'm not part of it and all in it. You know what I'm saying? Involved in it and want to be involved in it now. So I'm like a Christian that's not from America. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like a Christian here. No, I realize what's going on because now it's a military perspective of why I go check out things and see what's going on in the world. See what's going on in my surroundings. That's right. That's right. I'm going to see what's going on in my surroundings. So that's the only reason I check and see what's going on in this culture with these crazy black people and these crazy white people. I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna go see what's going on with them. Yeah, it is over. It's over because you was niggas. You was niggas and you trying to make it look professional, and it ain't no way you gonna play that position like you gonna act like niggas and then try to clean it up. It ain't gonna work. You can't clean up a turd and polish a turd in front of me. A turd is a turd. And that's all it is too. You see what I'm saying? They'll try to clean. This was nigga stuff from the very beginning. That's all it was from the very beginning. All you're trying to do now is critique it to make it look like it's something better. Even by attacking me or whatever, even those the caliber of attacks, it was nigga stuff from the very beginning. It was clown mixed with clown white boy stuff from the very beginning. Now y'all want to act like y'all military. Man, y'all ain't military at all, man. I seen you too long for me to hold that perspective of you. And you can get as many military people involved, but if they move according to your operations, it's clown. It's clown games. They ain't military over here. So I don't care what they reputation is. They not moving like military over here. They not moving like gangsters and killers over here. So then why does it matter? Because they ain't playing that position over here. Too much truth, right? So it's clowns either way it go. Because I know how these sucker Freemasons are. These sucker Freemasons will recruit killers and soldiers, right? But they clowns when they come over here. Because they work for you. And they do things according to how you want them to do things. So it don't matter what position they played over there as killers and soldiers, because when they come over here, they play a whole different position. That's how I call it how it is. Now, if they came over here understanding rules and regulations, then I would say they play in the position of real niggas and soldiers. They not doing that. They not playing those positions. They come over here, act like clowns in La La World and Cloud 9 World. Listen, you on Cloud 9 time. You ain't on demon time. You on Cloud 9 time, bro. Why these real wars is escalating in the world we live in. These real world wars are escalating in the world we live in. And I'm not the average little pastor type of preacher. No disrespect to these American Christians. But these like nice, happy-go-lucky type of persons. I believe in burying my enemies. I believe in destroying my enemies. And people see, now you see, hey, I don't care if I'm likable to you or not as a Christian. Maybe you want me to be likable as a Christian, and I don't care about that. I live in the real world. If you challenge me, then listen, I'm not going to be a likable Christian. I'm not going to be a likable Christian. And that's that. I don't jump through hoops. You think I'm a pedophile? Come challenge it. That's for your whole community. Come challenge it. That's all I'm asking. Be a man about it. Be a woman about it. Come challenge it. Go to war about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a clown about it. Go to war about it. Because you ain't going to ever prove something that I know you're trying to do anyway. If you trying to make me out to be a pedophile, how you think I'm gonna give in to that? I don't have no hang-ups. My mind is my strong suit. I could have been a psychologist. I got a stronger mind than half of these people. That's how I beat them. How you think I beat them? Because my mind is stronger than theirs. They think they size me up based on somebody else they knew. I'm not somebody else you knew. I'm not somebody else you know. I'm me. Yeah. I'm an original. It's called an original soul. I'm an original soul, buddy. You can't find nobody like me. I know you tried, didn't you? You can't find nobody like me. So we don't care nothing about you putting celebrities' children in our minds, these images of celebrity children. I'm not scared of no celebrities or no rappers. And you can't instigate anything against me because I don't care enough about it. That ain't a game that's going to work. I confront everything they do. They put celebrities' children in our minds to make us look like we thinking about their children, thinking about celebrities' children. Cornballs? You don't think I realized that? We don't care about that. That's how we know it's these big fat lesbians and these big fat gay people. That's the only people who you think gonna be really behind that, really concentrate like that. Big fat witchcraft people and big fat lesbians and gay people. And that's what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like how I see it is, at some point you just gotta die for what you do. See, maybe in America, you know, because of the police, maybe your family, the military, the government, people like Trump, you feel this sense of security. So much so that you can come out here and do reckless stuff. You can come out here and do crazy stuff because you hide behind this security, this false sense of security. You got this false sense of security that you can come out here and play in the field and nothing really ain't gonna happen to you. But see, it's done escalated to now the feds, the government, and the gangsters can't do nothing for these gay and lesbian secret society people. And these witchcraft, I'm pinpointing exactly who it is. These witchcraft secret society people, ain't nobody can save you when God's kingdom and his angels are against you. When them angels are against you. See, the best way to understand a high-ranking spiritual person is to look at angels. Angels can be beautiful and nice. And angels can go to war and kill people. An angel is not just by nature a real angel. A real angel is not just some nice little creature. No, it's not. I mean, you could even look at Satan as a perfect example. He had free will as an angel. He chose to do what he wanted to do. Satan is not a god, he's an angel. An angel gone bad, right? An angel has free will. We see that with Satan, right? Okay, so an angel is not some nice little creature. If you rub angels the wrong way, it's you die and your kids die. That's how this goes. Now, you know, when you're raised in America, you think angels are just fly around and just do good stuff for everybody. Not everybody. They don't do good stuff for everybody. You forgot about angels, didn't you? You forgot about the angels. A whole bunch of them. Thousands of them. At war in Brooklyn right now. Thousands of angels at war in America right now because of all this stuff going on, all this gang stalking going on. It's angels at war right now, buddy. And listen, they are not happy. They're not happy with Americans. They're not nice with Americans. The first thing angels going to do in this situation is draw back protection. All the protection that angels gave to America, that's over. That's the first response to this situation. The first response to the situation, millions of angels have pulled back their protection from America. Yep. Listen, buddy. Listen, man. Listen. Let me tell you something. You can't have your cake and eat it too, bro. You can't be out here with gay and lesbian marriage in your country and say all the angels is all around protecting the country, and you got child marriage laws marrying children, but you locking up pedophiles. You don't think God's smart enough to know that you held people to different standards than what you actually live? You marry children in the country. That's a different standard from what the police project to us. You don't think God is smart enough in his service is not smart enough to understand that? Oh, that's not two different standards. Yes, it is. If you can marry children, how is that a different? How is that not a different standard from child molesters being arrested? That's a different standard. They get to marry children over here. That ain't a different standard from what you've been taught as Americans, that we protect children. And children, you don't sexualize children. What they doing over here marrying children then? That's what we talk about, bro. That's what we talk about. And it's no way you gonna use me as some soft person or scapegoat. I'm not the person to play with. So you got to go somewhere else. You ain't gonna get me to go along with your little narrative of you playing with me. Nah, I'm ready to kill, just like a soldier. That's just what it is. You know, I'm not playing no games with nobody. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious, bro. But see, what made me strong is I can be relaxed in this situation and still get my job done while people think I'm crazy. No, I ain't crazy. Because everything they doing in this building, we using it against the Americans. I'm bearing that on purpose to take care of the Americans. I'm playing my position. Long as they play with me in this building, long as they play with me in this neighborhood, long as they play with me in Brooklyn, we taxing on every move they make, man. Everything they do. Everything they do. We tax. I'm talking about everything. Closing a door. If you even close a door in witchcraft or to trigger the mind, we taxing on that. We taxing on everything. See, a dumb nigga don't know. We taxing on closing doors, talking outside of doors, bamming on walls, any of that. Any games. Gotta tell a nigga, any games. Cause they think as long as we ain't touching the person, we ain't gonna get taxed. Yes, you are. You're gonna get taxed to somebody that's aware of it. An angel can be a good protector or your worst nightmare. An angel of God can be your worst nightmare, buddy. See, you took the cartoon version of what an angel is. Well, an angel gonna protect us. Well, an angel gonna protect us. Not you. You marrying children. You got lesbian and gay marriage. Angels don't protect a land like that. No, see the deception? God is not with you no more, buddy. So the first thing that happens, whether American Christians like it, can you admit as a smart person that American Christians will still, let's say you do believe that God's protection is not with this country, right? You do believe it. He's no longer with this country because of lesbian and gay marriage and child marriage, a different standard. See, it's not the children element, it's the different standard element. It's the different standard. It's the double standard element. You don't see that in Brazil, right? They know they having sex with children, but they ain't running around talking about pedophiles like Americans, knowing they marrying children here. So don't you think that once God's protection leaves the country, don't you think religious people will still be talking about God is with their country? Let's say if you did believe it. Because it's in the Bible. I can show you in the Bible where God was not any longer with countries and nations and people, right? He don't just ride with any. God ain't a little golden retriever that rides with everybody. God don't move like that, man. No, he don't. God got rules and regulations, just like the streets. And if you don't understand these rules and regulations, right, it's not a game, bro. God got rules and regulations. If you don't line up with that as a country, how is God going to be with you? So then, don't you know, religious people that really don't got no relationship with God, they still going to be talking about God bless America. Can you believe that? Yes or no? So, in the case that you do believe that God's mercy and protection is no longer with this country, that his angels don't move for this country no more, that it's pulled back, that's what it is. And it don't matter how many Christians pray to summon angels, they're not moving. That's what it is. That's why the energy is different. Angels is not moving when you playing with God's people. They not protecting nobody no more. That's why all this stuff is happening out here. Okay? So, the question to you is, do you believe that American Christians will still be praying? These religious people will still be talking about God is with the country. These blind Christians that's really not spiritual, don't you think they still will be saying God is with America, God bless America? But you know God's protection is gone. You know his protection is gone, don't you? So religious people still gonna be saying God bless America. Like Trump talking about God is with us and helping us. God ain't with you. No, man, you got gay and lesbian marriage. You marry children and talk about pedophiles. You don't. So God ain't gonna do nothing about that. God ain't gonna think that's bad that you lock up pedophiles, but you talk about but you marry children. That's what hypocrisy really is, right there. That's hypocrisy. That's what it is. It being imperfect, and being imperfect is not hypocrisy. You know what hypocrisy is? Living a whole lie. Talk about you protect children, but you marrying them at the same time. That's a hypocrite. A hypocrite is someone who lives a double life. Okay, you gonna be imperfect living one life. You ain't gonna be perfect living one life. But a double life is what people despise. People despise somebody talking about some children all the time, but then you marrying children. You get despised as a whole people. I don't care nothing about them babies you keep showing us. You marrying children. We begin to despise you the more you try to wave your babies around. We despise you even more. Not less, more. Because you're marrying children over here. See, you should have knew the spirit of Jesus was going to find real hypocrisy in your country. No, see, listen. You don't know what real hypocrisy is, do you? Real hypocrisy is not being a flawed human being. That ain't hypocrisy. I can show you how God's people make mistakes in the Bible. They're not hypocrites, right? Okay, so we're not elementary in our understanding. Okay? Not by a long shot, right? So we're not elementary in our understanding on hypocrisy, right? And a imperfect human being. We understand people are going to be imperfect regardless. There's nothing you can do about that. So the perfect servant of God realizes I am imperfect. They embrace it. You don't struggle with it. I don't struggle with it. You know the people who destroy their own life is people who struggle with being imperfect. I'm imperfect. That's what it is. I don't have no problem with it. That's why I make an excellent servant, because I don't feel that I'm perfect. I know as I'm smart enough as a human to know, the smartest humans know I'm not perfect. I don't want to be perfect. I want to be righteous. It's a difference. I want to be covered with God's perfection. Okay? Because you could take scripture to say, be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. But that's a lifelong journey where you put on perfection, which is his word. As you put on his word, you put on perfection, because his word is perfection. So as when God said, be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect, right? That's saying put on God's nature, which you can't do at all at one time. How you gonna be perfect like the Father and put on his nature? It says be perfect like your Father in heaven is perfect, right? Like your Father in heaven is perfect. How you gonna do that in just instantly? So being perfect is put in this context is putting on the nature of God, and that's a lifelong journey, and you still gonna make mistakes as you're putting on perfection. That's why you gotta constantly repent. You gotta constantly repent, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not no amateur. I'm a veteran. I'm a spiritual veteran. You can't use no preachers and no bishops and no prophets and pastors against me, because I already know what's going on. I'm a veteran. A veteran comes in and measures spirituality in rules and regulations. Besides emotionalism, you the type of person that get caught up in emotionalism, where you looking at how people love each other and how loving black people and all of this. I'm gonna do what an angel do. An angel don't come in and say, I just love black people. An angel comes into an atmosphere, into a city, and measures the sin and the disrespect to God. The angel don't consider that you black or you white or Hispanic or Latino. The angel comes in and measures disrespect, sins, and violations. That's it. It's a non-emotional situation. Yeah. And the mercy that you're talking about, that you're referring to, let me explain something about mercy. What you're referring to that you think you should get as an American community is servanthood mercy, reserved for his servants. The first step of mercy in God's kingdom is what? What's the first step of mercy? Receiving Jesus Christ. That's the first step of mercy. To receive mercy from God, you have to receive Jesus Christ the Messiah, and then you receive mercy from God. Right or wrong, right? Without receiving Jesus, is there any mercy from God? So how they got mercy from God and they ain't received Jesus? No. That's not legalistic. That's rules and regulations. There's a difference between being legalistic and technical and being in rules and regulations, where God ain't gonna let people do what they want to do and live the way they want to live, and he just protecting them and doing everything for them. It don't work like that, buddy. So you gotta have good understanding and stop being biased, right? Because if it was any other country that was doing what America's doing, you wouldn't be biased as American Christians. You would say sin is sin, right is right, and wrong is wrong. But when it comes to America, you even have a different standard for them, with their relationship with God. You got a different standard on everything almost. Look at it for what it is. Look at it for what it is. Black people call each other niggas all the time and then get mad when a white person call you a nigga. Now my thing is this. If it's so hurtful of a word, you shouldn't be using it at all. I don't care how you look at it. If it caused that much pain to you, where you hate when white people say it, then how you gonna say it? I don't care if black people call. Listen, you call me a nigga. Listen, you gotta. I'm gonna challenge you to why you would feel that I'm a nigga. Oh, cause I'm black. Okay. Listen, man. I'm just put it like this, man. I don't have them kind of problems. Man. But I know, I'm gonna tell you this. That's the bottom line. I don't have them kind of problems. But I'm gonna tell you this. If you use the word, how can you really censor people to really not use it that much? That's what we gotta be 100. If somebody say nigga, And that word came from a racist white man, but you use it now yourself. Look at it for what it is. The origin of it will always be white, hateful people. I don't care if you change it around a million ways and flip it around and do whatever, jazz it up. It don't matter. The origins of that word is not going. The pronunciation of it the origin of that pronunciation is not going to change. Now I can see if it had a whole different pronunciation and wording, but let's say somehow it had the same meaning. You know what I'm saying, right? That would be different. But then you kind of flipped it around, but it was this other word and different terminology and pronunciation, and you flipped it around. You flipped that around. Not the same thing the white man said to you. You know that a lot of black people died, and that was the last words they heard before they blacked out and died. The last words they heard before they blacked out and died in the past was nigger. Nigger, you nigger, and blacked out and died. That was the last words that some of your ancestors heard before they died. Nigger. So that's the contradiction, is my point. That's the double standard. Where a white man can't halfway say it to you, but you turn around and use the same word he made for yourselves. You can't have your cake and eat it too. I don't have the hang up. I ain't worried about it. I ain't out here trying to press people about being racist. That's for sure. Because everybody ain't gonna love you. Some people just go, especially now, you know, you gotta realize you cause hate on yourself. No, come on. Let me ask you a question. You as a black person, can you cause hate on yourself? So it ain't nothing you can do for people to hate you. Legit, right? For a legit reason. It ain't no reason. So because you black, it ain't no reason somebody could really hate you. Like deep down inside and just hate you. Not because you black, but because of something you done. It ain't no reason somebody can hate you. So anytime people show hate, you flip it over to racism. That's 7 out. So when legit hate come to you, when it comes from white people or somebody else that's non-black, you flip it around so low key to racism. But you brought that hate on yourself. And then you turn it around like the hate we have for you is racism. You got some black people that's so enabled racially. You're enabled racially as far as race issues and racism, that when people hate you for legitimate reasons, you still put it in the category of racism. And now more than ever, with all this stuff going on out here, there's legitimate reasons to hate black people. Not because you black. Not because of the color of your skin. Not because you a descendant of Africans. Because of the content of your character. Martin Luther King Jr. said this: let our family not be judged. And I'm paraphrasing. Let the people not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Martin Luther King Jr. made it where we would not be judged by the content, by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character. And y'all messed that up. You messed it up. Now, even though he paved the way to put in the mind, in the value system, in the world views of black people to not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character, it still don't work because your character ain't no good. So the pass you would get for being black, and then we just gonna see who you are by the content of your character. You can't even get a pass for the content of your character. And that's what Martin Luther King Jr. made it, where if he didn't do anything else, that's what he did. He influenced the world views of the people to give you the benefit of the doubt. To give you the benefit of the doubt against everything everybody's saying. To where we ain't gonna just look at you and think you a nigga. We gonna give you an opportunity to show us the content of your character. And when you look at that, people have taken that for granted and not consider that perspective nor their character, and they still want to pass. People look at you and hate you because you're black. People look at you and hate you because of the content of your character. And you don't know which one it is, do you? Many times, in America, you might not know which one it is. That's true. It could be your color of your skin. It could be the content of your character. But guess what you're going to do? You're going to say it's the color of your skin. That's why you're getting judged. But these days that we live in, people are so bugged out that it's not because you black. It's not because you Hispanic or Latino. It's because the content of your character. That's what it is. Oh, I could just add that to white people too. It ain't because you're a white person. It's because of the content of your character. That's why people hate you. People hate Trump because of the content of his character. It ain't because he's a white man. So you can add that to any race. It ain't cause you black, white, Hispanic, Latino, or Asian. People hate you because of the content of your character. And you gonna flip it around because you shell-shocked from racism in America. You shell-shocked and traumatized from racism in America. So you're racially sensitive when you're black or non-white. So every time somebody say something to you, you go and pull the race card yourself. They ain't pull the race card, you did. As if you would never be imperfect, as if you would never make mistakes, as if you could not legit bring hate on yourself. Okay? You brought hate on yourself in 2026 as black people and as Americans. Yes, you did. And you can't hide behind no race card talking about because it's because we black. It ain't because you black. You hate it because you a bum in your soul. They hate you because you a nigga. It ain't because you black. You got two definitions of a nigga that's used in America. Because of you being African or because you are a bum. Most of you are niggas because you a bum. That's why. And your own people will use that word for you. Your black people will use that word. You are a nigga to them. I'm not the only one feeling this way. You can go talk to, especially the old school. The old school gonna call niggas niggas. Oh, them niggas, we ain't going out there. We're gonna have our family reunion over here at this park. No, it's too many niggas over there. What you mean? It's too many ignorant niggas over there. We ain't having our family reunion at that park. Your grandmama and daddy, that's what they gonna mean they words. They gonna mean they not gonna mean they words. They ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. Your old school ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. It's too many niggas over there. We ain't having no family reunion with all them niggas at that park. Let's come back to real black people. This is how real black people talk. We ain't having our family reunion over there with all them niggas over there. Coming out there, sitting, asking us for food, that part. And coming over there, playing with us around, that ghetto where they asking us for food. Talking about they'll pay us for food, all kind of stuff. Can they pay us? Niggas, we don't want nothing to do with that. We can't even enjoy ourselves over there. So we ain't going to that park for our family reunion because there's too many niggas over there. Oh, they'll sit around and talk about it. Families will sit around and talk about it. That ain't bougie families. That ain't Uncle Tom family. They ain't sellout family. That's black people just like you. Go ask your grandmama. Go ask your auntie. How she feel about all this stuff over there. Oh, them ain't nothing but niggas. All this stuff going on over there. Oh, them ain't nothing but niggas. All them people out there shooting them kids. Oh, they ain't nothing but niggas. She ain't gonna mean that, and she don't care how you feel about it. She know what she mean, and you know what she mean. And you know she ain't racist. You know she ain't no sellout. You know she ain't no Uncle Tom or Uncle Tammy. We'll say Uncle Tammy for Aunt Tammy for Uncle Tom equivalent, right? She ain't Aunt Tammy, is she? No. See, white people can't have these conversations. That's why they get mad. Because now you done brought everybody together and now they get excluded from these conversations. When we can talk about niggas, but they can't. Oh, I can talk about it because black people know I'm a nigga too. Well, he a nigga too, so I don't care what he say. At the end of the day, he a nigga too, so we ain't, listen, if we feel some type of way, we ain't paying no attention to it. You know why? Because he a nigga too. If he don't know, he is. So we don't care nothing about it. See, I'm smart enough to know how they gonna see me talking like I'm talking. Real black people. Oh, they gonna know you a nigga too. No, you ain't. Listen, you one of us, you a nigga too. Whether you with us or not. That's why they ain't worried about it. It's only white people that's sitting up here obsessing over it. You know what I'm saying? You listen, buddy. You listen. You can't do what I do. You can't come out here in the field talk about the difference between racist, the racist term for nigga and the term that black people use for ignorant black people. Okay? You can't do it because you ain't. How you gonna do it? So then you have to admit, besides all the cultural things that joins us together, there still is black culture and subcultures and conversations that you are not invited into. You can't come into these conversations. What a white person gonna do? Oh, well, there's a difference between niggers and white. You're gonna be like, hold up. Nah, we don't really want you to talk about that. Not you. No, you feel some type of way. You gonna feel some type of way. Okay then. A black man saying, well, you gonna say, hey, well, hell, look, he a nigga just like us. I don't care. Cause listen, if he blind to that, listen, that's the joke on him. Cause he a nigga just like us. That's what you gonna say. Listen, he a nigga like us anyway. That's what the old school gonna tell you. He listen, and I ain't worried about that at all. Oh, ain't he a nigga over there? Oh, okay, we ain't worried about that at all. Cause listen, that's either a blind man or listen, how else can we look at it? He a blind man if he don't know he a nigga. Okay? We ain't worried about that. We worried about when we know white people don't know nothing about what they doing and they ain't no niggas. They don't got no business talking over here. See, you thought with all that culture stuff, you can pull us all together. You can never pull us all together. Because we don't have the same experience in America. As long as white people got a different experience than I got, and they don't live, no, they will never live like me. They will never go through what I go through. And I don't care how broke they are. I don't care what they going through with the economy. That still ain't the same thing. They ain't gonna never go through. I done been at a job and a white man called me a monkey to my face. I was working, doing what my society expect me to do in America. I was a young 22 years old, young too. A young man. I was 22 years old. A white man called me a monkey for no good reason, for nothing. I've been through it, buddy. A white man ain't gonna go through nobody calling him no monkey. I done been through it, buddy. So some black people haven't. Oh no, maybe you haven't. Maybe you haven't had a white person call you a monkey to your face. To your face now. Not behind your back. Right there with you. Like ain't nothing gonna happen to him. You ain't been through that, have you? Let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. You as a white person is never gonna live no black experience. And I don't care if you smoke Newports. I don't care if you eat chicken. I don't care what you do. You can eat chitlins, chicken, pig feet, and pickled pig feet. You can eat it all. You can go to Candy Ladies. You can drink sugar water. Hey, you remember Candy Ladies? You can go to Candy Ladies. You can drink sugar water. You not gonna be no nigga. You playing games. You getting to enjoy the experience of a nigga without taking what come with being a nigga. Oh, you come in our neighborhoods and date a white man, a black dude, and get that black penis and just have a ball. Oh, you don't, okay. You could talk about you being not accepted really because you white. I mean, but come on, man. That's white. That's still gonna equate to white people problems based on you navigating all around and you ain't gonna get seen as a black person. It's still chalked off as white people problems, which that means you shouldn't even bring it up. Because once we examine it, we gonna look at that. That's trivial. Oh, how people see you in the hood. Oh, well, maybe you a lame. Maybe it ain't cause you white. Maybe because you a sucker. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the content of your character. Maybe it's the content of your character. You a white sucker coming over here, and you think it's because you white. Because we let certain white people in. We do. We let certain white people in. You can go look at any hood in the South where I come from. It ain't nothing but niggas, but we still, here's the balance. We still let certain white people in. Oh, they gotta fight. They know how to fight. Oh, they'll fight you. A black dude will tell you, I done fought a couple white people in the hood. I have myself. Oh yeah, they'll fight you. They gotta, to live there, they gotta fight. They gotta fight. They gotta fight black people. And whether people think it's racist or not, nobody ain't gonna think that. Ain't nobody gonna think that. Yeah, so it ain't all white people. It's how you move. It's how you move, right? Once you move right, guess what, buddy? You in there. And guess what? When you in there, what you think you gonna go through in the hood as a white person? You ain't gonna have no black experience. They ain't gonna treat you like one of us. No, police ain't gonna treat you a certain way in the community that as you navigate throughout the community. Outside of the hood, when you go get food and you go other places, you go to the motels, you go other places, vacation, you gonna be treated like a white woman that's getting black penis. So you will never have our experience. Even though you accept a black man and you with black people, you still ain't gonna be treated like us. No, not at face value. You know, you might get linked to certain things, to certain operations, and you might get flagged by white America for that reason. But that's not everybody that's connected to some type of operations or some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get connected at face value. You ain't gonna get connected to the black experience or being treated like a black person. And that's the reason why I don't allow white girls smoking Newports to play in my lane. I know exactly what I'm talking about. You can't play in my lane, white girl. Because then, you know why? I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why white girls smoking Newports can't get in my lane. I'm gonna tell you why white girls that smoking Newports can't get in my lane. Because we can't really have the full conversation. If we can't have the real conversation, and then what I'm gonna do with you? If I can't talk like this, and I can't talk about niggas versus real niggas, I can't talk to you about that. No, you can't really put in a real opinion on it. You can't really talk about it like another person can, right? A black person can. You can't. So then, why would I involve you in my politics? If you can't really judge it and go into it and know it for what it is, you know what I'm saying, and see it, black people, and know black people through and through, then why would I bring you to judge my situation? Or why would I allow you to judge my situation? That's what I'm saying. So that's not racism. That's like you're not deep enough in the black community for you to understand everything. You're gonna say real recognize real, and I can show you real people falling out with real niggas. I can show you real niggas killing real niggas and real niggas falling out with real niggas. So see, it gets more complicated than just real niggas. Because real niggas, sometimes, some of you might not know, they can fall off from being a little thorough and become just a nigga. See, a real nigga can just become a nigga. Just start doing crazy stuff. So then you might know and think about his reputation. Let's just say you're aware of his reputation. You're going to just keep saying he real as a white person. Now you're going to vouch for him. Oh, he real. Nah, he done fell off. See, that's what black people going to say. No, he was real. He was past tense. He was real. He started working with them Freemasons. He started working with Illuminati. He started working with butthurt gay people, no pun intended. He started working with butthurt gay people that feel some type of way. He was real. but he's no longer real to us. Why I still get accepted and you can't believe it? Because every black man is going to give me place to defend myself and to go to war even against our own people. That's right. That's the mentality that comes from the complex mentality that you might not have as America, that comes from the white man, the black man just facing everybody anyway. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have more understanding. I face these niggas just like you do. So I ain't gonna just be pro-black like some white girl smoking Newports. And cause you ain't out here with us, I'm gonna judge it like you ain't one of us. Nah, I ain't gonna judge it like that. See, a white girl smoking Newports, she gonna expect me to be out there with the culture in order for her to co-sign on me. She gonna expect me to show my face out there. When a black man gonna say, nah, I ain't judging that, cause I don't expect him to be out here anyway. Even if he a real nigga, why he gonna be out here and wind up killing one of these motherfuckers? You know what I'm saying? That's what they gonna say. So a white girl with smoking Newports, she gonna expect everybody you to come out here to the community. The same niggas that's playing in your face. That part, I ain't doing that at all. And a black man gonna understand that. He gonna understand my hate for my own people. You don't. You know why? Because you can't have no hate for black people. They don't allow you to have no hate. They don't allow you to have no hate for black people as a white girl. So when you see me have hate, you say, oh, you can't do that. Oh, no, you can't do it. Because you ain't going to go through what I go through with other niggas. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. Man, they going to use you and knock the walls off your vagina and be done with you. And call it a day. Once they knock the walls off your vagina, they going to call it a day. And you going to be sitting back reminiscing, smoking Newport 100s. You're going to be sitting back reminiscing about all the black penis you got once the walls off your vagina, and you're going to be sitting back smoking Newport 100s when they done with you. I'm telling you, that's how the game get played, buddy. By the time you hit your 30s, you got 2 kids and nobody don't want you. They don't want you. Unless you a hustler, you a white girl hustler, you get bread. Okay, that's why you got to go do it. Because you got to almost trick off like the white man trick off when he come over here. These black women ain't dealing with no broke white boy. No, they are, and they already know that. They know the rules. They gonna come over there contributing. Let's put it like that. Contributing, and you gonna be contributing after your 30s. Oh yeah, they'll listen. They'll let you act like a little tenderoni, just like the rest of the females, while you in your late teens, 18, 19, on into about what? About 28, about after 28, buddy, listen, you got to start contributing, buddy, with a man. Oh, he'll let you lay around when you're young, because you're a young little thing. Okay, wait till you get about your late 20s to your early 30s. Oh, now he going to talk about you contributing. You learning the hustle, getting a side hustle. Hey, that's how he going to hit you, huh? Getting a side, he going to say a side hustle. Hey, that's code to your young time is up. Now I don't really see you as that valuable. Now that you get a little older, you know what I'm saying? Now what makes you valuable being your age, and now you look and when you're in the condition of your vagina after 2 kids, now you got to go to be valuable to us. Now you got to go get bread. Now we gonna look at it like, yeah, she get bread, she get money, she feed me, she cook good, everything. I'm just letting you know. And guess what? Here's the punchline. Most of these black women get done the same way, buddy. They get done the same way. So why would it be any different for you? That's how I know. They knock the walls off that vagina. That's it, buddy. A man know when it ain't gripping no more. If it ain't gripping, they done knock the walls off. Okay? Listen, bro. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. You're not talking to one of these Nickelodeon white boys that watch Nickelodeon. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, bro. Okay? These lame niggas, whether they be white boys, gay boys, Hispanic and Latino gay boys are lame niggas. They can be lame too. Because you Hispanic don't mean you part of the cartel. See, that's the position that a lame Mexican would play. Well, I know everybody ain't in the cartel. Just like every black dude ain't no stepper. So you got them types that but will front, they front over there too. Like they vatos. And you know what I'm saying? And they ain't vatos. They front like they gangsters and they not. You got Mexicans that play, they do just like black people, off the strength of what black people are. You think you try to hide behind that like that's you, and it's not. That's why every man got to stand on their own, bro. And that's that. You know, you can't hide behind, you know, your race and what they do. You know, because you Mexican don't mean you down with the cartels. Don't mean you get it in. It don't mean you know you will catch a body. You know what I'm saying? They good people too. Every race is good people. Look at it like that. That's how everything started out. If you ever intimidated by any people, that's for white people. We all good people, which means we all are good by nature as human beings. You know what I'm saying? That's why you found out that, you know, you can't come to no black community and just get me killed. That's what you thought you was going to do. Because you watched too many movies. Like Tupac said, you watched too many movies, man. White boys, part of the Freemason Illuminati, thought you was going to pull me down in Brooklyn and somebody down here was going to want to kill me. I guarantee you that's what they was thinking. You thought you was going to pull me in the wrong neighborhood. You even tried it with the Hispanic and Latinos on Astoria Boulevard. They ain't want no smoke with me. They ain't want to do nothing to me. Because once they saw me, they seen it for what it was. So I know you put me in certain neighborhoods where you try to pull me out to the community and you hoping I look some type of way to the community and they want to do something to me. Most humanity is not like that. See, now you welcome to the real world where it's tricky, right? Where you can get killed. Yeah, you can get killed. But most people, even in the hood, in the worst neighborhoods, they good humanity. You know what I'm saying? They gonna take care of their family. They gonna take care of each other. Everything like that. They gonna look out for good people. They ain't gonna crush good people. Once they seen how I move, they hated you. See, that's how we know you a lame nigga. You brought me down here and they wind up hating you. That's 7 Al. You brought me down here and they wind up hating you, man. Cause you lame. And it wouldn't be a problem if you was lame in your lane. I wouldn't care. And real niggas wouldn't care. Cause you ain't doing nothing over here. You ain't in these politics. You ain't out here talking. You ain't out here playing with the wrong people. Causing spiritual liabilities, playing with a prophet. Cause you want to be Marilyn Manson or Ozzy Osbourne. You want to be one of these dark princes of the world, don't you? Them type of little lame crackers. See, for me, a cracker is not a white man. A cracker is a white man that play with black people. That's my definition. I didn't get that from Malcolm X. I didn't get that from nobody. I made up my own understanding. I made up my own understanding. I got my own understanding of what a cracker is. You know what a cracker is? A cracker is a white person that plays with black people or non-white people who play with Hispanic and Latinos. You are a cracker. Okay? And I'll call you a cracker to your face if you act like one. I don't discriminate. No pun intended. I'll call you a cracker too. I call you what you consider a racial slur too. If you acting like one, if you acting like a cracker, and you putting pressure on black people for no reason, or not good enough for a reason, you are a cracker. I don't care what you talking about, no culture stuff and and pedophile and whatever else. If you couldn't prove it, you a cracker. Won't y'all tell them if they couldn't prove it, they crackers? Well, yeah. You know what you did. You know what you did. You know what you're left with. That's the best thing to say. Do you know what you left with? You know what you left with? I'm gonna tell you what you left with, buddy. You left with no crimes from me, no character that you thought, and then that leaves you as just only a white person that playing with a black man, which makes you a cracker to most people. Oh yeah. You see some white people playing with a black man, that's a cracker. What else is it? What else would you call that? Oh, a white American, a good white American, an upstanding white American citizen. No, for a lack of a better word, and we don't care a better word. For a lack of a not caring about a better word, because I don't care about a better word, you are a cracker. That's what you are. I'm dead serious. This is how I move, man. See what black people understand about me. You know why I'm good with black people? Because they know I can't stand no crackers. And I give it to them just like I give it to anybody else. And they know I kill a cracker. Oh yeah. See, some of y'all ain't thought about it. Oh, you ain't thought about it. Oh, you don't think about killing niggas out here. But when you kill a cracker, oh yeah. Man, listen, I don't even think about it, bro. All I see is a human being. That's all I see. That's all I ever see. If I see you playing with me as a human being, you don't think I kill you, man. I don't care if you white. I ain't thinking nothing about that. I'm not thinking about it. That's how you know I'm not racist. I'm not thinking about that. You shouldn't be out here playing with people. You a cracker? You listen, beware. Beware, buddy. I don't care if you young, you come over here, you trolling me, listen, I'll kill you, buddy. I don't care if you're young either. You shouldn't have been out here. I get my C murder on, buddy. I kill me one of these 16-year-old buddies. I get my C murder on, buddy. I get my C murder on. That's what I'm saying. Listen, I take one of these little 16-year-old dudes to the grave, buddy. Listen, what am I supposed to do? Oh, hold back because you 16. I ain't holding back. I ain't holding back. I ain't holding back at all. I grew up on C Murder. I used to listen to C Murder before anybody knew about him. Before Kim Kardashian knew about him. I was 16 years old listening to C Murder. That part, man. I had a C Murder album, the Death or Life album. You know which one I'm talking about? Yeah, I had the whole C Murder album, man. I used to bump that on a 15-inch kicker speaker, 400 watts, equalizers, all that, man. Listen to C Murder like that. That part. Survival of the fittest. Boy, you better not run up. Survival of the fittest. Respect my come up. Survival of the fittest. Boy, you better not run up. That's real, buddy. See, my little brother wasn't on that C Murder, buddy. He wasn't on them levels like that, buddy. Nah. He tried to play with, you know what I'm saying, no disrespect, but he was on that mystical or whatever. Nothing wrong with that. But nah, he wasn't on that C Murder though. You know what I'm saying? Listen, bro, let me tell you something, man. I sit around listening to C Murder, man. It's certain people that I don't know how to explain it, man. We just didn't listen to just everything. Every black person got their own particular preferences of artists that you might not necessarily, you heard them, but you really didn't listen to them. Everybody got that. Like, I listened to C Murder. Really, people didn't really know about C Murder as much as Master P. You know what I'm saying? All the white people, the white girl smoking Newports, oh, she knew about Mystical and Master. Mystical loud, so he the one stand out. That part. You know, everybody, white girls smoking Newports gonna know about Mystical. You gonna know about P too. But C Murder, oh, you know, it kind of get a little difficult. You don't really know. Get a little difficult for you, don't it? It get a little difficult for you, don't it? You don't really know about C Murder or Pimp C. Hey, a white girl don't know who Pimp C is, do she? Pimp C didn't have a problem with homosexuals. Pimp C said, y'all quote Pimp C, but quote the whole thing. Pimp C said, I ain't got no problem with homosexuals. I got a problem with closet homosexuals. He clarified that. Pimp C, as in Houston, Texas, Pimp C. Pimp C said, I ain't got no problem with homosexuals. I got a problem with closet homosexuals. These dudes out here, you know what I'm saying, acting like they with women, but you know, low key they be the kind of, that's just wrong, you know? It's just wrong to a woman to do that. If you gay, just be gay then. I can honestly say, every woman I've been with, I ain't never led them on or been messing around other dudes while I was with them. No. Messing around other dudes, really not showing interest in them. No, nothing substantial anybody could ever say. No, I make love to my woman. I'm good with just a woman. I ain't gotta have two people in the bedroom like these bisexual women. I ain't gotta have a man and a woman. I ain't gotta get penetrated and I want to penetrate. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta go. Some people like that though. See, I made it out of all of that stuff without feeling still the need to be penetrated or feeling the need to still have sex with a man. I don't feel the need to do that. And that's what people feel like, wow, that's a miracle because I'm totally delivered. That's what God would do. God would take all of it from you. You know what I'm saying? On that note, and I'm glad I thought about it, I celebrate 2 years with no homosexuality. 2 years. I can actually say as of today, what it is, March 1st, 2024, I was with no men. Nope. That was back in February 2024. 2 years clean. No smoking cigarettes. 2 years. No smoking weed. Gonna be 2 years in 2 more days. 2 more days smoking weed and cigarettes. It's gonna be 2 years. I stopped that first, then I started smoking weed after that. A couple of days the next month after. This month. So it's gonna be literally March 3rd. It's gonna be 2 years with no smoking weed, no smoking cigarettes. I'm not a little nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? I quit smoking, and that's what I'm gonna do. And I've done that. I ain't drinking. This is what, April, May, June, 3 more months. It'll be a whole year without drinking. 3 more months. Now you see why the devil trying to play with me. You know why he playing in my face? Because of my sobriety. That's why I don't pay no lame niggas no attention. Everybody know how I was drinking and passing out and blacking out in public. Falling out. You know what I'm saying? Drunk, that drunk. And really just, your soul is trying to escape all the problems in the gang stalking and everything. You're trying to come above it. And people misunderstand it and misinterpret it. That's why I take a real nigga to interpret even what you doing. Oh, that nigga's, yo, he just trying to come above that stuff. That's what it is. He drinking out there on the block, everything. He coping with that the best way he know how. But not in the sense of, oh, he in stress or in pain, but he trying to enjoy himself through the situation. You know what I'm saying? He's still trying to find a sense of enjoyment through all that's going on. You know, so I really understand that. So I was like blacking out in public on 12 shots of vodka. I done drunk 12 shots. Not back to back, you know what I'm saying? But I done drunk like 12, 13 shots. 14 even maybe. It might have been like 14 shots. Blacked out. Broad daylight, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Boom. Woke up in my bed. 9 o'clock at night. Don't even know how I got back home. Yo, I was outside the neighborhood. I don't even know how I got back home. That's the kind of drinking I was doing. Now it's 3 months. 3 months from now, it will be a whole year without drinking. Because see, God wanted to prove to all these little homosexuals and lesbians that say that's a pathetic drunk right there. You know they said it. You know niggas said it. Oh, that's a pathetic drunk. Ugh. I wouldn't have nothing to do with somebody that drank that much. I wouldn't have nothing to do with somebody that get that drunk. He probably can't even get it up. He probably drinks, so that's the first thing they gonna think about, a sex thing. He probably drunk as he is, he probably couldn't get it up. That's how they gonna size you up. Little you know, I'm like most black men. I'm not trying to be graphic. This is not for children anyway. My videos are not for children anyway. I'm gonna be rock hard on liquor anyway. Now listen, that's a black man for you. I'm gonna be rock hard on liquor. Yeah, that part. I'm just saying. That's me now. That's me. So I ain't never been no dude pathetic and all slumped up and I can't get it up because I'm tipsy. Nah, I ain't never been like that. Matter of fact, man, you know, most black men, we gonna come to attention when the woman around, and we gonna, listen, rock hard for, you know what I'm saying? On liquor now, beer is a whole nother thing. But when you drink liquor, most black men gonna tell you, I'm gonna be rock hard, buddy. Especially if I'm just freshly tipsy, not 2-3 hours after drinking. If we get into about an hour to change after I've been drinking, come on, you know how we do. Drink, listen to the music, everything. You know how we do. Sit back, listen to good music, everything. You just set in the moment. Shoot. About the hour and a half, come on. After drink, see that I know how, come on, man. I done chill like real niggas chill, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna drink Hennessy. When I used to, I just had the wrong woman that couldn't, you know, get on the level. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Where they know how to chill. For a perfect example, I'm gonna give you an example. Not trying to go off a subject, but this is a perfect example of the last woman I was with. That woman that was coming to my apartment on Astoria Boulevard. So I got like $400 on my EBT cash hit. Boom. I checked it. Went in the bathroom, checked it. $400. Wow. Because you don't get that much. You get like 180. You get like 180. You can't get that whole 88. So you get like 180, right? I got like 400. I was expecting that money. That was a little furniture money. They give you that little furniture money or whatever, right? At least in the program I'm in. So I got like $400. Me and her laid up. You know how you be dried out, you ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? We was on one of them vibes. And then, boom, I got $400. Don't you know she told me she was jealous of me because I got that money? This is supposed to be your woman. She was jealous. She told me. So, listen, I did what a real nigga would do. You know what I did when I got the money? I got up. I let her stay there. Guess what I went and did? I went and got Hennessy. Hey, I went and got Hennessy, pizza from Papa John's. I got 2 boxes of pizza, of course a pack of cigarettes. I went and got me some little earrings to open my ears up. You know, keep your ears open. I got me some little earrings. I came back with earrings, Hennessy, just like a real nigga. I came back with Hennessy. I came up. Don't you know she didn't even want to drink? Don't you know she had a stank face like she didn't even want to drink? So I was like, oh, okay, this the vibe. Okay, I'm gonna go chill on the block. So I chilled out there in the block while she was in the house. Start drinking Hennessy. I said, yo, I'm finna take a walk. I'm finna go to the water. Like, it was up there by the airport, the Queens Airport. So I used to like to see the little body of water right there and sit right there and drink and everything. It was my own little place away from all the ignorance. You know what I'm saying? So she'd been there a couple times or whatever. So I was like, you want to come to the water and go with? She said, no, thank you. Don't you know I went to the water, drunk some Hennessy, came back, she was gone. She left. She just left. That's what kind of woman I was dealing with. Didn't want to eat the pizza. I said, you want to eat some pizza? Here's a pizza. Yo, that's why I consider people like that almost enemies. How you going? Because you sitting back. That's a come up for me and you. I don't want to got pizza. I don't want to got Hennessy, everything. Good pizza, Papa John pizza, big large pizzas, everything. I'm tipsy at the Papa John. Yo, let me get that. Coming back in one piece, got my cigarettes, got my Hennessy, got my pizza, everything. Like niggas do. We come up, we done the things we gonna get. I'm talking about when you in the streets, you gonna get cigarettes, Hennessy, and pizza, some food, DoorDash, something. You know, you gonna get DoorDash or something, man. Man, I was with a female that told me she was jealous of that. And then she gonna explain it. Yeah, you came back with earrings in your ear. Who is like that? You came back with earrings in your ear, everything. She seen me come back with earrings. I came back with Hennessy, pizza, everything. She don't know what Hennessy was because she wasn't even really real like in the streets like that. She didn't even really see that as the come up it really was. But so I came back with a nice bottle of Hennessy, paid like $30 for that. I'm expecting a good night. You know what I'm saying? See, that could have been a great night, right? You on Hennessy, pizza, making love, everything, boom, we gonna drink. I'm gonna go get more. I probably would have went and got more. I would have probably went and got more before the liquor store closed. I already see where the bottle at. Okay, well, we doing good. Yeah. Let's go get. I'm gonna go get some more. Man, don't you know she left? She left my apartment. I didn't even know where she was at. Don't you know she left? And then told me she was jealous. What kind of woman is that? You know what I'm saying? So man, that explains. And this same woman stole money from me. Oh, she ain't told you that, did she? That's my ghetto moment. She ain't told you that, did she? Listen, man, she stole money from me. My phone money, the money to pay my phone bill. You know what I told her? Because I know my money. At that time, I'm doing the same thing I was doing, putting out offerings to a good church, right? I was doing that consistently. I was on my game. 2023 is when we won. That was that year, right? So once I sent out my offering, all I had left was my phone bill money, right? And I put that in a little fold. I fold that and put that to the side in my closet. I put all my money in my closet. You know what I'm saying? On the floor in my closet. So I was in such routine. I know what I did with my money. I know I count my money thoroughly. You know, if you do everything in routine, you know your money. You know what I'm saying? It's just you do it as clockwork for too long to not know. You know what I'm saying? You don't make no mistakes, because I'm the type of person, I count money 2-3 times. I don't care. I'm that type of person. I don't just count and say, oh yeah, I know. Nah, let me count that again. Let me count that again. I'm that type of person. So I knew I had the money, because I just count over and over. That's how I do, just to clarify that, confirm that for me. So for sure, yeah, I count that for sure 2-3 times. Now one time you ain't gonna be too convinced. Well, maybe I didn't count it. You know what I'm saying? So most people that really handle money, you ain't gonna count no money one time. No, I don't care how much money it is. I don't care how many bills it is. You're gonna count that money over and over again. You're gonna count it at least 3 times. Especially if it's a significant amount of money. You're gonna count that money 3 times. So I know what I had. She went to work from my place, right? Because her job was near my place. When I got up to pay my bill, I'm missing some money. I'm like, hold up. I know I had the money. And I thought about, she was the only one that went in the closet. I said, hey man, you know, I checked her like a G, man. I said, look, when she came, I waited till she came in. I think that's what I did. I didn't text her about it. I waited till she came in, right? I said, look, man. I said, let me tell you something. See, she didn't realize I was a real nigga. Listen, I know she didn't. I said, look, man, let me tell you something. I said, you got to put something to this. I told her like a G, you got the money I had left. I said, you got to put something to this if you want to be here. You can know. If you want to be here, you got to make this work. You got to put the money, you got to put the difference on this, buddy. Don't you know she did it? She put the money, the difference on there. Oh, yeah. You ain't going to be here and you stealing from me. I ain't no sucker. I told you, you better put the money on this. She went and paid the bill and everything, because I had her paying the bill. Because I held the fort down. You know what I'm saying? I ain't go off the block. I just stayed out the public, and that's how I won. I say that I ain't gonna get grocery. I ain't gonna go pay no bills. She did everything. But she was compensated with I cooked for her. She didn't cook one meal for me. I cooked her breakfast. I cooked dinner. Everything. Like what women do. So it was give and take. You know? Mind you, she's at my spot. I'm not at her house. I'm the one keeping this ship afloat. It's me. It's me that's holding this building, this apartment down, or what we living down. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one holding this down. She ain't paying no rent. So at least you could just go run the errands. You feel me? I ain't asking for no significant money from you. You know, all I'm asking you is to go run these errands. And you know I'm in spiritual war with these gang stalkers. Yeah, it was that format. She knew it. I didn't say this halfway. We had an understanding that it's better for me fasting and seeking God to not even go out there. So now I can cultivate a spiritual energy untouched by the community for months. I didn't go out there for months and months and months. And then that's when it broke. And then the war in Israel and Hamas happened at the end of by fall, almost close to fall, at the end of the summer. Well, yeah, fall, at the beginning of fall, right? Yeah. So that, with that being said, she was running my errands, right? And then just like an ignorant person, she thought she could get over on me and take a couple of dollars from me in the middle of doing errands and running errands for me. I said, look, man, let me tell you something. Because I always been a real nigga, man. That's just it. Even as a Christian, even in a relationship or anything, man. You know what I'm saying? I just don't give it to a woman like I give it to a man. Not totally, you know what I mean? You know, but money, stealing money from somebody can get you killed on principle. On principle. It don't matter how much money it is with some people. It's the principle of you stealing money from me. That's it. It don't matter how much money it is. You don't think people get killed for less than what, $5, $10? It's on principle, man. It escalates violation. It's a violation to escalate a situation. You know. So I told her, yo, you got to put the money with this if you want to be here. You can't. You know, if you want to be here, You got to put the difference with this. You got to put that money on there. You got to put that. You got to make that work. Don't you know she went and paid that whole phone bill? I don't take nothing off nobody playing games with me, bro. She took my EBT card. Same woman. She took the EBT card talking about, yo, this is an active EBT card. A man will beat you and put you up in the hospital. I get food off that. I get cash. I was getting cash. I can see if it was just food stamps. I can't even see that though. But let's just say somebody say, well, that's just food. I ain't gonna say that. But let's just say somebody would. Man, I was getting food and cash off that card. Don't you know I woke up one day, and at that time I was smoking weed too. I was buzzing and everything. I woke up. My card was gone. Man, don't you know, I realized what she did. And I had to come to Brooklyn. I was living in Queens, but you know how to get the cards out there. That little shop, that little spot where you get the cards. Yeah, I had to go out there and stand in the line halfway high, smoking on the roach, getting in the line to get me a new card. This girl done stole my card. That's two places where a man would have beat that girl. You stealing money from me? You done took my EBT card? That's two whoopings. That's two butt whoopings. And me and her got in two altercations. You tell me what you think. We got in two physical altercations. You tell me. Most dudes gonna say that was deserved based off of you stealing his money, and you taking and stealing his EBT card, talking about you just wanted to keep it to remember him. Really? You should have took a shirt for that. At least I got the scent on it or something. You know what I mean? You gonna cut that part. You gonna take my I don't even believe that. I don't even know what to believe. I think she might have used it for witchcraft. To go give it to some witchcraft person. Because you know they gotta take something from you. Yeah, that's nah. Who you know in their right mind gonna take an active EBT card from a grown man? Buddy? Who gonna take it? Man, listen, bro. Listen, if that would have been a dude, I don't know what I would have done. I don't know how I would have reacted. That's drama, man. You take my EBT card, sucker? Man, she took my EBT card active, bruh. She talking about she was going to bring it back. But you took it to remember me from, but I would have brought it back. What? I had to go down there. Man, listen, I got up. You know how you don't never want to go to no food stamp office. Man, I got up that same morning and had to go down there. I had to go down there that same morning. I'm sitting in the line smoking me a roach. Man, halfway trying to get high, like just get through this situation. Man, crazy, bro. Crazy. That's what I'm saying. That's what I went through with the last female. You know, some people just not 100, man. You know what I'm saying? And then now she said, oh, I'm terrified of you. That's why she won't come back. She terrified of me. She said that. I ain't do it for that reason. She said, I am terrified of you. Well, hey, listen, man. I told you from day one, I'm a real nigga. And see, so some people just used to these hippity hip hop dudes. You know what I'm saying? These hippity hip hop. You know what I'm talking about? Little dude, little jazzy, little, especially in New York. You got these little flashy little dudes walking around here. These little happy-go-lucky little dudes, looking like Nick Cannon. No disrespect to Nick Cannon. You know what I'm talking about? Wearing the Yankees down, these little happy-go-lucky Nick Cannon looking dudes. Little Nick Cannon looking dudes. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Females are trying to play me like, cause I got that baby face too, you know. Just like Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon look like he ain't gonna never get old. See, certain people got that look, man. Nick Cannon, one of them. He ain't gonna never look old. His features ain't gonna never look old, right? So I got that baby look too. I got that baby face. Well, you see what I'm saying? And people will play you like you a boy, like you something to play with, because you got that baby face. That's the real baby face. I got a real baby face. You can't tell my real age if I don't tell you. You can't guess that. You can't guess that. So, you know, people play me, you know, especially you being nice on a female, you smiling, and you got the baby face, and you smiling, and, you know, you cooking and everything. See, a lame girl, let's call it for what it is. Some of these girls is lame. Some of these girls is lame. Y'all just lay down with these girls, and y'all, I tell them they lame, they lame too. You lame too, bro. I can get you right. I can get you put up on game. I can put you up on game. But listen, you can't act like you just as hard as me. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. And see, these days, these females, they start smoking a little weed and hanging out, drinking a little Hennessy, and they think, listen, be 100. Your girl get kind of in a little trance where she thinks she just 100 like you. You ain't never seen it. You hear her go there. You ain't never seen that look in the eyes. When she just thinks she about 100 as you. Hey, real niggas know what I'm talking about, man. You can see it in their eye. You think you could tell. Like she halfway laughing at you. You ever been with a chick like that? Like you a joke. Like she get high and then she think you a joke. Oh, you ain't never been with a female like that? She like low key, she like not totally, but kind of like in her vibe, like, oh, you can't see me, nigga. I'm on, you know, that kind of shit. I'm on my level. I'm drinking right now. You can't see me. Yeah. And see, so for me, these are black men problems. Listen, I don't think every man that put his hands on a woman is a domestic abuser or that's domestic violence abuser. I don't think that, no. Because the arrogance of black women these days, these young girls that is around our age, man, listen, man, they try to act like niggas, bruh. See, that's the third definition of a nigga from where I come from the South. A nigga is a word for a male. That could be any color. A male is a nigga. And from where I come from in the South. So these females try to act like niggas. Like, no, man. Nah. I mean, long as you don't violate me, I don't got a problem with that. But usually, they don't know how to, most females don't know how to navigate as a real nigga without trying you. That's the emotional part of a female, right? So when if she even come anything close to being a real nigga, she don't know how to, navigate her emotions where she don't violate you. See, us as men, we got our emotions intact. I ain't gonna be around real niggas and violate a nigga, you know what I'm saying? Halfway say something crazy. See, females let their mind go different places. Halfway say something crazy to you. You know what I'm saying? Don't be smoking and drinking with her. Don't be smoking and drinking with her, man. She halfway say something crazy, man, like her. So most dudes will say, man, them little situations you had with your female was justified, man. She stole your money. Most dudes, she would have been whooped from that. I told her that. You taking money from me, man, most dudes would have beat you. You don't take no money from no man. I ain't do nothing to her. I just told her, look, man, you got to put money, and she definitely took it. She definitely took the money. She definitely took the money. Definitely. It wasn't me losing the money. It wasn't I lost it. I don't second guess it. I know she took it. And listen, if she, I ain't say nothing to intimidate her to make her feel that I'm scared of you. I'm scaring you into paying for my bill. I know for sure I count my money too many times, bro. I'm good with money. See, somebody will think a person that they ain't got no job or whatever in my situation ain't good with money. I know for sure. She definitely took my EBT card. She admitted that. So what's the odds she ain't take my money? You took my EBT card, and I know I count my money good. What's the odds you ain't take my money? So I don't second guess myself. But see, that's how it feels when somebody do something to you like that. You thinking, did you spend the money or did you drop the money or stuff like that? That's why you can't be with no thief, man. They'll have you second guessing yourself. Having you second guessing what you did with your money. But she knew she took it. She knew she took it. She admitted it. She did admit it. She did. So she stole money from me. She took my EBT card. Man, listen, bro. Listen. That's most dudes would say. And she definitely she texted me. She wanted to remember me by taking my EBT card. Yeah. So put two and two together. Somebody steal an active EBT card. I can see if it wasn't active. Okay, I ain't tripping off that. You want to steal an EBT card? I could have used that for a little ID, a poor man ID with at least my name on something, and then I could put other documents and say, okay, what's the odds that ain't me? You know what I'm saying? A poor man, I can use it for a poor man ID even without a photo ID for a smart man. A smart man, see you got all these validations with the same name. What's the odds that ain't me? So I could have used it for a poor man's ID. You know, but I wouldn't have tripped off that if it wasn't active. Just like, for example, you know, somebody took my old California ID, my food stamp card out this room. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what type of dude I am. You just like the woman I dated. You know, she wound up being terrified of me. She said that out of her own mouth. I didn't try to do that. I just go by rules and regulations, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're a fake woman, you can't be with no real nigga, because you're gonna violate him. And you don't know what's gonna happen. He don't know what's gonna happen. It's not trying to be tough. It's just the law, the way he lived, the laws he lived by. You know, and somebody stole my EBT card, California EBT card. I got a California one in here too, right? From San Francisco. I still got it, right? Don't you know somebody took this out the room and somebody found it they played a little game like they found it in the stairway, but that was all a game because I was sending out my first $1 million. Now I made my first $1 million transaction that night. So they came in here looking for money because they knew they got the mind reader, so they already knew what I was going to do. You know what I'm saying? I was talking about it on the videos. I was talking about putting out that $1 million, and I put the $1 million down in Colombia. That's where I put my first $1 million at. My first $1 million transaction was down in Colombia. And if you don't know how it was the truth, if you don't believe me, you're like, all right, come on, I'm gonna show you how it was. Listen, I don't lie, man. I don't make up no little cartoon games, bro. You know what I'm saying? How that came out to be $1 million is because of, if you go check now on AI, that's why I like AI as far as information. If you go look on AI, man, you know, it's going to show you the value exchange of different currencies in different countries and how the USD, the value of USD in another country. So in Colombia, I had to save money. This is how serious I was. I saved 2 EBT hits, the whole thing. The first one, I saved the whole thing. I ain't spent $1 off of it. Then I had to wait for the second EBT hit at the top of the year to get enough money together to make $1 million in Colombia. I sent the $1 million. That's my transaction. So for me as a profit, instead of accumulating, my first transaction was not an accumulation of $1 million. I gave $1 million. I can say the first time I made a transaction, $1 million transaction, I gave somebody $1 million. I didn't take $1 million. I gave $1 million down to Colombia in South America. Boom. Next time I seen them, I thought it was so hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Because they had the website updated, everything. That's how Latino people do. But I'm glad to see they were doing something with the money. Next time I checked the website, they had it all updated, had everything going on. Maybe they wanted me to see that what they was doing with the money. But I just sent like $1 million down there. That was my first $1 million. That night, somebody came into my room out of all the other times because they knew I was about to make that $1 million transaction. And something told me, because mind you, I had the first EBT cash hit, the whole thing. If I knew I was going to come back to write out the letter, the envelopes, right? That's my routine. I always do that. So I could have left that first EBT hit to go get the second one. Just thinking I'm comfortable, I'm going to just leave, you know, not even thinking it's a problem. But something told me to keep that first EBT on my person. That's how sensitive I am to a real sensitive operation. I'm thoroughbred. You know what I'm saying? When I knew I had a sensitive operation that sent in $1 million, I was going to make sure nothing go wrong. That's the type of dude I am. So I ain't let that slip. But they came in here looking for it. That's what they came in. I figured it out. That's what it was. Because they knew from my videos, from me on these videos, and from the mind reader, the telepaths, and the psychics, they read the mind and know what you're going to do next. If you don't understand what these Freemasons and secret society people are doing, more than anything, they're trying to read your mind to see what you're going to do next. They're trying to read your mind to see what you're going to do next. That's all. So they knew from reading my mind to see what I'm going to do next, they knew I was going to send $1 million. That's why they came in here. Other times, I've been, like, remind you, that's December. That was the end of December. I had already been here since October. For basically 2 months. I was here for 2 months and nobody came in here. But once I was about to send that $1 million, listen, they came in here looking for that first EBT hit or some money. They knew I was going out. They watched me. They knew I was going to come back in. And they thought I was going to slip and leave half of that EBT hit in here. They already knew I had the money. That's what they was looking for. They was looking for the first part of it. And I kept it right on my person. Because usually I don't want to keep no money on me. I ain't going to say you're going to get robbed, but I don't, for that reason, I don't really keep no money on me when I go out. You know what I'm saying? When I'm good. When my situation is secure, I ain't going to keep no whole bunch of money on me. I'm going to keep my money at the house. I'm going to take what I need, maybe like $40 to give me some, you know, depending on what I'm doing in my life at the time. You know, I might take like $40. But, you know, I ain't taking no more than that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't taking all my money out in the streets, and then you might get robbed. You know what I'm saying? That's most black people. So, you know, so I could have easily left it out because that's usually the routine of most black people. That's what they expected. But I kept it on my person, you know what I'm saying? Because that was too sensitive of an operation. That was my first $1 million. And I nailed it, buddy. I got it done. I got it done. Now I done spent $4 million. That's over there in the Middle East. Now I done found another come up to where now I'm in the Middle East, Lebanon. You know what I'm saying? I'm over there. Like 4 million. I said 4 million. Now I done sent 16 million. That's $3 million. That's 3 millions of dollars transactions. Because once the money goes over there, if you don't understand, this is a different country. This is not sending money to Cincinnati. And I didn't realize it. When I first started giving money to churches outside of the country, I did not realize, because I wasn't international. Now I'm international. Because I wasn't international initially, I did not know. Even the first time I sent money out the country physically was Cuba. I sent money to Cuba. Like in 2023. Yeah, that was like 2023. I sent money to Cuba. That was the first country I went to. But then I kind of fell back off of thinking about different countries to give money to. I just kind of fell back off of it. You know what I'm saying? And but that was, I did it, right? And it was in the back of my mind. And so the next year, the year after that, 2 years after that, God lined me up with start giving money out the country. And it still took time. It still took time for me to see. And God set me down during a 10-day fast. In this same room, I went on a 10-day fast for 10 days. And no food, no snacks, no nothing. For 10 days. No food, no vitamin water, no sustenance water, no nothing. I might take a vitamin, but I didn't take a vitamin, I think, on that fast. I don't think so. But a vitamin ain't gonna, that ain't nothing. That ain't gonna curb your hunger. That ain't gonna do nothing. You're gonna still be not eating. You ain't eating from taking a vitamin. You only gonna have a little more pep and energy and be more solid in your mind a little more focused. So it ain't taking nothing from the fast. It ain't taking nothing from the energy of the fast when you put a vitamin. I recommend even putting a vitamin in your fast because you still getting, your body is still being replenished, upheld. Your body is upheld. It ain't being totally depleted. You know what I'm saying? To where, you might be deficient in iron or something like that, or potassium. Because I think in some cases that can be, I don't know how, but I've made it through. I've never had any complications from a lack of potassium or iron. I just haven't. Maybe it take a little longer. It may take longer to be really deficient in iron and potassium. But anyway, I was on a 10-day fast, and the Lord showed me that the money I was giving outside the country was worth more in another country. And so I went back and did all the math on all the places I had to give it to, and it was like, oh man. Then that's when I became international. God made me international. God made me everything I am. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they might have figured it out from another place or another way, but I figured it out with God Almighty. God set me down during a fast and showed me that my money was worth more, the value exchange, when my money went out the country to these different places. And each country is, the value of the USD it varies from country to country. So I was giving like thousands of dollars to other countries. I was like, that's why they were sending me letters. Jamaica sent me a letter. I sent money to Kingston, Jamaica, and they sent me a letter telling me, oh yeah, thank you. And I was like, it was a nice letter, but now I see why. Because they exchanged that money and that was thousands of dollars. So then once I got on the road, God just showed me what to do. I looked at Colombia. Colombia is thousands of dollars. The USD is worth thousands of dollars down there. So it's a no-brainer, right? You start giving to churches outside the country, and you're with your brothers and sisters outside the country. That's beautiful too in itself. And in my case, with the Gang Stalkers and Americans Against Me, it was beautiful to connect with people outside the country. So it was a whole win-win situation. You know, and I realized it was like I said, thousands of dollars. And I was like, looking how close it is to $1 million. I'm like, man, I could make this $1 million. So then I saved the EBT hits. I saved it and made it $1 million, my first $1 million. Somebody tried to come in this room and sabotage the operation, but I had the money on me. You know what I'm saying? They came in and took a toothbrush. You see how nasty that is? They were still trying to play with my head. Some way trying to dampen the moment. Being a jerk, trying to dampen the moment. Took a toothbrush. Who does that? Took 2 dozen of eggs. 2 dozen. I had 2 dozen of eggs in there. In my refrigerator. They took 2 dozen of eggs, my toothbrush, a bag that I had, and like I told you, the EBT, California EBT card. But they knew they probably couldn't get nothing off of it. And they just threw it down like a bomb, you know. Look how much of a bum that is. And then I had a silver dollar that I had kept, you know, just a symbol of well-being financially. You know, I keep this silver dollar just as a symbol of well-being, financial well-being. You know, I had to spend that to get a toothbrush. Luckily, I had that, and because I didn't have any money, I had to use the little bit of change that I had and the silver dollar that they overlooked. They came in here and didn't even take a silver dollar. Who does that? Lames, man. And didn't take vitamins. If it was really a military hit, you would have took vitamins because to affect the morale of the person. They left vitamins, magnesium, which they didn't think like soldiers. Those are bums. They didn't take money. They took a toothbrush. Who does that? Ugh, in somebody else's mouth with morning breath. You know, that's disgusting. I don't care who it is. That's disgusting. I took my toothbrush, everything. And this is right here in the same building. That's why my time here is done. See, I didn't too much explain that situation to people fully in depth. How much they took, toothbrush, my card, 2 dozen of eggs. I skimmed over it, but I didn't really break that down and for what people could really realize what happened. So they took like I said, 2 dozen of eggs. But the thing about the eggs, I kept that for a whole month. I didn't even eat them a whole month. So it wasn't like I was really wanting them. I didn't have a taste for them for the whole month. I was eating other stuff. I didn't have a taste for it the whole month. So they couldn't even win with that because I really didn't want the eggs. It's just the principle that somebody took something from me. But did I want them? Did I just buy them? Did I have my mind on them? Nah. I didn't have a taste for them or nothing. I kept them a whole month. So when my EBT hit, I bought 2 dozen of eggs. And to the next EBT, when I was out, that's when they stole it. So I kept it for a whole month. You know, literally. From EBT hit to the next EBT hit. And I didn't even want them. I didn't have a taste for them. I just kept them around as something good to eat if I ain't got something, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. You know, just doing the economical thing of having certain things, you know, extra options and things like that. Just an extra option. Don't you know they came in here and took 2 dozen of eggs out my refrigerator? And I'm in this building. They took a toothbrush. This is why I'm like this. This is why I don't take nothing off nobody. This is why I'm 100 like this. Because once my radar go off like that, listen, say no more, bro. Say no more. You steal from me, you a scum. You the scum of the earth. Me, I have never been a thief. I'm a hustler. I'd rather hustle than steal from people. I hustle anything. I'll hustle anything. I'll hustle food. I got food in here, right? I go hustle some onions and some crackers and some cereal. I got cereal. See, this is how I think. A bum won't think that. A bum will have food and then go try to steal from somebody. I'm like, okay, I got this oatmeal. I think a prison dude, I scoop you out some oatmeal. That's what? I'll charge what? For a bowl of oatmeal? $1.50. Give me $1.50. Give me $1.50 for a scoop of oatmeal. You want the whole thing? Give me $8. Give me $8. Whole thing of oatmeal. I give you $8. Give me $8. Give me $7. I $7. You can't beat that. See, I used to hustle around with like, especially with low levels of money, which makes you better. You know, ironically, low levels of money with low items and learning to hustle and get the right prices off of it, it makes you actually better with other types of money and estimating what is deserved for certain items and things like that as far as what you charge. Like My Price is Right, that TV show. Okay, the My Price is Right TV show, you have to estimate how much certain little items cost, right? That makes you the best hustler. So for me, like I got onions in here. People that like onions, I love onions. You know what I'm saying? I'm from North Carolina. We grew up eating onions. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Here in New York, they act like the onions stink. Like, you from the South, how you gonna eat onions? We put onions in our beans and everything. Yeah. We put onions in our spaghetti. We put onions and green peppers in our spaghetti. We put onions in our burgers. You ain't never ate a burger with onions in it? Delicious. You don't know what you're missing. Big old fat burger with onions in it. Not on the burger, inside the burger. Cooked into the burger with the juice of the onions and the juice of the meat of the burger. Man, you don't know what you're missing. So I can sell people onions. I can sell a couple onions. I charge for an onion, because it's a good commodity, I charge 50 cents for an onion. I ain't gonna give a quarter, because I mean, that's gonna make your meal taste great. I mean, that's worth it. You know, if I charge 50 cents for an onion, yeah, that's worth it, because that's gonna make your meal taste good, whatever you eat. You use it for spaghetti, you know what I'm saying, whatever you eat. Rice, put it in some rice, make all the world of the difference. So I got stuff in here I can hustle. I got some little crackers and stuff, all kind of stuff. Extra pepper, I got salt, extra pepper in here. All kind of stuff. Potatoes, instant potatoes, cereal. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I ain't gonna never be slipping with food no more. Cause now I know what's going on with this inflation and everything. I ain't gonna never, people that ain't got no food, that's a mentally sick person. How you old as you are and you don't have no food? I ain't never been slipping unless inflation kind of hit me. You know what I mean? A couple here and there, a couple months before I catch on. Once I slip a little bit and that month was kind of hard at the end where I ain't have no food, I ain't gonna make that mistake again. That's why I keep certain stuff. Like, I ain't gonna go hungry. I got oatmeal and I got mashed potatoes, instant mashed potatoes. I ain't gonna go hungry in here ever. And I got rice, and I got beans and stuff. I gotta eat these beans I got in here, cause I ain't ate them in a while. I gotta eat them beans when I come off my fast. I gotta eat them beans, cause I done had these beans for a minute. But they instant beans, you know what I'm saying, dry beans. But they take so long to cook. That's why I really don't just look. I don't really try to eat them too quick. They ain't really nothing I can eat quick. You know what I'm saying? I haven't mastered how long it takes to cook them in the microwave. They like these real thick beans, and man, it seems like it take almost like an hour and a half or something like that. So I haven't really mastered, you know, how long it takes to cook them. So, you know, I just leave. I still got them, you know. But, you know, like I said, I got the black pepper salt shakers, the black pepper shakers. I could sell that. I'm selling that for like I sell that for $3. Can't beat that. I sell that for $3. Salt, black shaker, pepper shaker. Sell that for $3. I got crackers in here. You know what I'm saying? Cereal. I sell the cereal for I charge $5 because I know you ain't gonna get that from the store for $5. You know what I'm saying? I charge $5 a box for that standard box. You can't beat that. That's just perfect for a box of cereal. Yeah, $5. Okay, boom, that's good. See, that's a hustler. I'm just giving you an example of what a hustler is. I used to sell vitamins when I was in the shelter in Bellevue. I used to be the kid go around selling vitamins, selling anything. Because I had a cigarette habit, so I had to sell this, I had to sell that, sell different things. I go around to all the criminals and everything in the shelter system. Yo, I got this to sell. Y'all want to buy this? Y'all want to buy this? Man, I was selling everything, bro. I was selling vitamins to the old dudes. Them old dudes know what it is. Like, yeah, sell vitamin. Thank you. They be like, yeah, you got some more? I think one dude was like, you got some more of that? So I was selling vitamins. I would give vitamins to young and old. You know what I'm saying? I had a young friend. He was like, yo, that was good, man. The vitamins. Jamaican dude, like, yo, thank you for the vitamins. Like, it was good, man. Like, yeah, I know. I mean, it make you feel better. Like, that's one thing we missed in the black community, taking vitamins. Y'all know about Dr. CB. He talks about the diet. I ain't no amateur, man. I know about Dr. CB and everything. When he talk about the different food and everything and your diet and how that heals your body and everything. And so the first time somebody put me up on Dr. CB, I was in where was I? Sacramento. I was in Sacramento, California. I got all kinds of stories, right? I was in Sacramento on the streets, homeless in Sacramento. And I told a dude what happened, with the Freemasons, Illuminati putting HIV in my body on purpose. So like a Mexican dude was like, yeah, man, you should check out Dr. CB, right? So then I did. You know what I'm saying? I checked him out and everything, Yeah, a Mexican dude put me up on him. A young dude, like a street dude. You know what I'm saying? He pulled up to a store and I was outside the store. He was like, I told him my situation. I got to talk to him. I think he maybe gave me a cigarette or something. I don't know. But I got to talk to him enough to tell him what I was going through. You know how you're on the streets, man. You got it on your chest, you got stuff on your chest, you talk about that more than anything else. So I was telling him what I was going through, and he was telling me about Dr. CB. So Dr. CB is all about, he got, what he was all about, his legacy was all about is getting all these different foods to heal your body and heal yourself, you know what I'm saying, eating right. And so with me, what I've been doing all my life since my 20s was taking vitamins, you know what I'm saying, which is all the vitamins, that you need. And if you're one of them skeptical people of vitamins, let me tell you something about vitamins that's different from medicine. Medicine and vitamins is not one and the same, right? You can question medicine, but you can't question vitamins. Here's why. Vitamins, if you give vitamins that got anything in it to, let's say for example, a patient that's in the hospital, if you give them any type of vitamins, remind you, I get my vitamins from CVS, right? So those vitamins are given also to patients and people that fill prescriptions. While they're in there, they get vitamins and everything. Their doctor might tell them to do that. If that has anything in it that conflicts against their sickness, don't you know they could sue that vitamin company? That vitamin company, or if CVS and other mother companies, they could sue whoever is responsible for that vitamin. So a vitamin is pure. It's nothing there. And I know how skeptical people can be about everything that comes to pills and all of that. But I assure you that a vitamin is a different ball game. See, if you take the approach of medicine to vitamins, you're going to think, might be something in this and all of that. Nah, It's not. It's nothing in it. It's all vitamins, and you can't afford, to be honest, the Dr. CB diet. You can't afford it. A lot of times on EBT, you can't afford to eat like that all month. A Dr. CB diet, you can't afford it. So the only bad thing is that unless you got a garden, you can't really afford to eat every day like Dr. CB recommends. So I've been taking a vitamin all my life, and that gives you most of everything that Dr. CB is talking about. Then you can add another vitamin supplement to that he's talking about. Not just the multivitamin. You can add an additional vitamin to that, and be getting the vitamins that Dr. CB recommends by the supplements. But the thing with women, because I've lived with many women, right? And I try to get them to take the vitamins. Usually I get women to take vitamins, But their thing is women do not like swallowing big pills. They call horse pills. It's every woman is like this. I don't know what it is. They think if I take this pill, I'm a choke. Right? That is so funny, man. All women are like that. So what I tell most women to do is let the vitamin dissolve in water. It might not taste the best, but you're a grown woman. You know what I'm saying? Let it dissolve in the water bottle and take your vitamins like that. See, I had one of my females taking vitamins like that. Put it in the water bottle, let it dissolve, shake it up, boom, there you go. You're still getting the vitamins. It's just mixed with water, just like it would be in your stomach. You're still getting it. Better even with pure water, So, but women usually get the chewables, the chewable vitamin, the gummies or whatever, the chewable vitamins, But whatever you do, man, you got to take these vitamins. That's why I stay up. I stay on point. My faculties are strong. Because see, when you're at war, even spiritual war, this is something I'm going to go out my way to teach. Use and take a vitamin in spiritual war and physical war. If I had military out as the commander, me being the commander, I send all my troops out with vitamins. Like you give them little stuff while they're on the battlefield, you give them multivitamins. So they have all their faculties, they have they're sharp, alert, they're energetic, they're not fatigued, nothing. I don't know if this is practice, but I know they give certain type of food that lasts for a long time on the battlefield, right? And they give them all type of food like that will last for years. So why not give like little packs of vitamins, multivitamins, like a 30-day supply, and it'd be thin and little powder packs where you could just down it like a goodie powder. Just put it down like a goodie powder. Just take it broken down, so it'll be thinned out in a little pack, right? You could just break them open. You take a multivitamin on the battlefield, man. You're gonna have all your faculties. You're gonna have your physical strength, your stamina. You ain't gonna have too much stress. See, when you take a vitamin, I go through stress like it's nothing. So anybody, word to the wise, if you are in any war, take your vitamins. You know what I'm saying? Spiritual war, witchcraft, all this stuff. Take your vitamins, and your faculties of your mind is going to be stronger through all of that. As opposed to if you don't have any vitamins and you don't take no vitamins, you're going to be you could be fatigued, more emotional, more irritable, everything, because you don't have what you need on a daily basis. So I've been taking like a vitamin for since I've been in my 20s, over 20 years for sure. Yeah. So I recommend doing the same thing. Like if you're in spiritual war, take a vitamin, and just do your research. Like me, I'm just playing around, to be honest with you. I ain't gonna say I'm playing around, but like as far as HIV, there are remedies to it. You know what I'm saying? it's all about your immune system to get rid of HIV. All you got to do is take big supplements for your immunity, for your immune system. That's the main thing you're gonna be targeting is your immune system, because that's what the HIV is attacking, is your immune system. So if you take vitamins like I looked up the main vitamins that helps HIV that stops the viral loads. I actually found a vitamin that stops the viral loads from going up when you don't have your medicine. Because people that go through HIV, especially it's in the streets or whatever, and just from place to place, for whatever reason, you might not have your medicine, right? So the vitamins that will slow down your viral loads so it don't progress into AIDS, right, is vitamin D3 and vitamin C, and I think vitamin 12, but it's definitely vitamin D3 and vitamin C and vitamin 12. You got to get major big doses of vitamin C. See, when you become a veteran or a pro with understanding vitamins, big dosages is not going to do, it's going to be better. It's not going to do anything to you. It's not going to bother you if you take a big dosage of vitamin C. It's not going to do nothing to you. But see, big numbers might, for somebody that's not really aware of, that's an amateur, that's not aware of vitamins, you might think a big dose of this might have a side effect, but it's not medicine, it's vitamins. It can in some cases, some vitamins can have side effects, but the likelihood of it is slim to none. You ain't gonna have no if you do it within reason. I mean, you know what I'm saying. But the main thing you look up is an adult dosage of whatever vitamin you take. What you need as a grown man. How many milligrams of this vitamin do I need as a grown man? And for magnesium, it's 1,000 milligrams. You need 1,000 milligrams. Now, when you take magnesium, most magnesium is 500 to 250 milligrams. That's just half of what you're supposed to have. So people get scared of big numbers, but really you're supposed to have an adult dosage of magnesium, which is the super vitamin. You're supposed to have 1,000 milligrams a day. So that's what I be taking. I take like 1,000 milligrams, sometimes 1,500 milligrams. And your mind is going to be sharp. Your mind is going to be able to get through all of this stuff. When you're going through stress, for women, I will always tell a woman to get B12. B12 is the super vitamin for women because of their emotions. You know what I'm saying? Their emotions, they need B12. B12. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'll do. B12, because with B12 it helps the emotional well-being of a woman. So I have my woman on a great supplement of B12 and things that help well-being, because women are caretakers. That's how God made them. So they think more than men do. They stress about things more than we do. We learn to suppress things. That's how God made us, because we're for the battlefield. The battlefield, we're made for the battlefield. We gotta suppress our emotions and our feelings on the battlefield. That's how God made us. So it's easy for us to learn to do that. For women, for the average woman, it's their emotions and their moods. They need something that they need a vitamin that empowers them concerning their well-being against their moods and emotions. And so that vitamin for women is B12. And see, it's no way around it. You can't do vitamin D. That ain't gonna work. You gotta do the Pacifics. You gotta do vitamin B12. Men, it works for men's well-being too. B12. So I usually on my multi-centrum, I get all of that. But what I got right now, I got B12 in this vitamin. Yup, I got B12 in this. See, and that helps emotions and all of that. So that helps your mood. That helps your mood be strong and more solid through stressful situations. So if your woman ain't taking no vitamins, man, and you know how emotional women are, better get your woman on some vitamins. Better get your woman on some vitamins, buddy. Because you can't eat enough food. And you know how women are, man. They gonna stress, bro. I'm telling you. The best thing you could do is give a woman the understanding of taking a vitamin. I do that with every woman. And they all say the same thing. I feel so much better. I feel so much better now that I'm taking my vitamin. So I'm one of them type of dudes. I get with my woman and tell them, yo, you need to take these, you need to take vitamins, yo. I'm telling you. Multivitamin and magnesium. And now that I'm more knowledgeable with the vitamins, B12 for women, B12 for men too, but definitely for a woman. And you could just do research on more vitamins that's good for well-being and emotions instead of just B12. You can get all kind of tonics. You can take it to the next level. Then your woman got these tonics for better well-being infused with all these vitamins, and she's just happy every day. See, this is how human beings supposed to function. That's how God made us, to function on vitamins, man. That's how you're supposed to function. That's your fuel. And you really get it from the food you eat, but you don't get enough of it. That's the only thing that keep people barely making it, because it's hit and miss. Some people eat good. You eat a lot of meat, you're going to get magnesium, so you're going to have a good sense of well-being. You know what I'm saying? You might have certain vitamins you eat. Certain nuts and fruits that you eat. You're going to get vitamin C and all of that, vitamin D. It's kind of, most humans in America, it's hit and miss. With most people, it's hit and miss. You still get it, but you're not super intentional about it. Once you become super intentional about it, that's the next level. The next level is super intentional about it. Because if you come from most good black families, you're going to eat good. So you're going to get vitamins because you're going to eat good. But especially soul food, all that, you're getting all them good vitamins. But it's hit and miss because you don't really know. Once you know, I'm going to be super intentional. I'm going to do more. I'm going to do more about this. And then you're going to realize, I don't think I can eat enough I can eat all this food. Even the best foodie, I can't eat all this food to get all the vitamins I need. So some people say, well, I'll take the natural approach. But I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're not going to want to eat all that food that's required to eat for you to get enough vitamins for each day. You ain't going to want to eat that every single day. All that food. Some days you just ain't going to want to eat that much. So then what? You pop a vitamin and you get everything right there. You take your magnesium, you take B12, you get it all. You don't have to sit down and chow down this whole meal, and sometimes you don't really want to eat that much. Or you might just want to eat every once in a while, some junk food or something that don't really have a lot of vitamins. But you're still getting it if you take your multivitamin. So that's one thing about me. So like when me having HIV, I fast so much that it slows it down. See, people didn't know that. I educate myself, man. So like I know what I'm doing. When you fast, you slow down HIV viral loads. The viral loads is what's ultimately, if it become too much, that's what's gonna give you AIDS. If your viral loads are too much and it spreads too much, how you keep it down is by being undetectable. Which for me it take me about 2 months of pills, 2 weeks to be undetectable. No matter where my viral loads are, I can get down to 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? But vitamins actually lower how fast the viral loads increase. I found the vitamins that did it is vitamin C. This is from AI too, by the way. So this ain't no non-credible information. Vitamin C, vitamin D3, and I think actually vitamin B12, I think. But definitely vitamin C and vitamin D3. So between me fasting and taking a multivitamin, and magnesium, my viral loads always slow down because I fast too much for my viral loads to be high. So for people that might be worried about me, I ain't gonna put myself in no situation. So once I knew I could do that, I take my time with going and doing other things about getting my pills and medicine and everything. I know I can do it like this, and then take my vitamins, and then the vitamin C is slowing it down. See, some people think it's of no effect until you educate yourself. Okay, well, vitamin C has been proven to slow down viral loads. Vitamin D3 is proven to slow it down, and magnesium, not milk of magnesia. That's what we know as black people. Not milk of magnesia. Magnesium, which you get from meat naturally. That tells you how valuable it is. I used to sell magnesium. It's like eating 7 steaks. The energy levels. That's why I be like this, man. Like, it's like eating, I forgot how many ounce the steaks are, but it's like eating 7 steaks, I think, of the average ounce of steak, whatever that is. It's like eating 7 average steaks. 1,000 milligrams of magnesium. That's what you're supposed to have as an adult. So it would be the equivalent of eating 7 steaks a day. Now you see why I be walking around here like He-Man, because it's like I'm on the equivalent of 7 steaks. And ain't no man gonna eat 7 steaks every day. So how you gonna get an adult dosage of magnesium if you ain't gonna eat no 7 steaks? You might one day, but but the average situation, you ain't gonna eat no 7. You ain't gonna want to eat that many steaks. I mean, you might could put it in pasta. You could do something like, but like just steak. Nah, you might want to make. You might make a hair roll. You could do that. Break it down and make a hair roll or something. But every day though, you ain't gonna want to do that. So that's why I'm always about the supplements, because even naturally, you ain't gonna want to eat this food and whatever it is every day, bro. I mean, you can eat some things for natural intake of vitamins, but all that you need every day, you ain't gonna be able to do it. You ain't gonna want to do it. So that's how I convince people, man, that the vitamins, it's not a synthetic approach. It's the most realistic approach to getting your vitamins every single day. You know what I mean? So that's what people don't, that's the secret sauce for me. People don't realize I take my vitamins. So how I went down that rabbit trail is when somebody came in here and stole from me. The most stupidest thing with all that being said, the most stupidest thing they left behind was the vitamins. That's the punchline. They came in here calling themselves stealing from me in this room. They stole a toothbrush, probably a little bit of change down there, an empty EBT California card, and 2 dozen of eggs. That's a bum, bro. And left a silver dollar over here. It was right on this table. I got only one table. You're going to look through the table. It was a big silver dollar sitting over there. They ain't even take that. They ain't even take money. Clowns, man. And if you was a soldier, you would have took my vitamins. Now I ain't got the vitamins. Retarded, bro. That's what I'm saying. Didn't even take the vitamins. I still got this big old thing of vitamins. Look at this. This is what I had for sure. This is what I had. They could have took this. They didn't even take it. I still got it. Clown. It was right there too. Right here on the table. Didn't even take the vitamins. Clowns, bro. That's why now you see why I don't take them seriously. You can't even come into a room and infiltrate as a soldier. Oh yeah, I take note of that. You couldn't even infiltrate as a soldier and come in here and take the most valuable things to damage the soldier. That's exactly. I'm militant minded. If I would have came into a room to damage a soldier's morale in over a situation, I'm gonna take vitamins. If I take your vitamins, I know it's expensive. You know how much I pay for these vitamins? I pay like $18, $19. I trick off on this. I don't care. I trick off on it. Because you got to have it every day. You got to have vitamins. You got to have magnesium. You got to have all this stuff. You're supposed to have it. That's what the doctor going to tell you. See, a good doctor going to tell you, look, this is not an option. You're supposed to have this every day. If you don't have this, your body is going to fall off from wear and tear of not having these vitamins. Not from working hard. That's why people age and everything. Because you don't have what you need every day. You're going to age drastically. That's why people look older than me. Because I take my vitamins. So my body is preserved, my skin, my body, you know what I mean? Everything is preserved because I take my vitamins. This is gold, man. You don't ever live life without vitamins. When I was on the streets, everywhere I go. This last time I went through the streets, I ain't have it like at this last place I was at. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, you gotta have your vitamins. You gotta have them. But it's not an option. You know what I'm saying? It's not an option to a soldier. A soldier gonna fuel up on vitamins. The next level for men is testosterone supplements. That's the next thing. Get the testosterone supplements. You know what I'm saying? To boost your testosterone as a man. You don't wait till you get, and my thing is this, you don't wait till you get old and just use it for sex. You get your testosterone supplements as a young man, like football players and athletes do. Athletes take, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they take testosterone pills. Because it's the natural approach to premium performance. You're going to have the best performance physically if you have high and healthy levels of testosterone in your body. Okay? To provoke it, right? To pull the levels up. You know, I had started taking testosterone pills too. Not for sex, because I wasn't even with nobody the whole time I took them. Literally, man. But I used it in war, man, because I want to be the most masculine man I could be in my war. So, you know, I breed. If I had a military, I breed gladiators, man. If I breed soldiers, I put them on testosterone pills. Yeah, that part. I'm gonna put you on a testosterone pill. Yes, sir. Put some hair on your chest. Put some hair on your chest. Testosterone pills, multivitamins, and magnesium, and maybe B12. I'll just go all out if I got the money. You know what I'm saying? Get everything you need. But the basics is the multivitamin, magnesium, and testosterone for a man. That's the basics. You know what I mean? If you ain't really got it like that, first thing first is the multivitamin. If you ain't really got it, then everything from there, because you're getting your basic vitamins for every day. Then when you got more bread, you get the magnesium. You know what I'm saying? You got to trick off a little bit. It's just how it is. Magnesium, and then if you really got it, at some given time, you get the testosterone pills. I already did it. Testosterone pills, that's the next level. That's the next level. Now you're talking about boosting your masculine traits, your masculinity. Now that's how you know I don't want to be no woman. If I'm taking testosterone pills, estrogen is what women take. Estrogen is the feminine hormone in a woman. So when these guys want to be women, they get high dosages of estrogen. That's the hormone in a woman that makes her feminine and have feminine features and qualities and everything like that. That's gonna be estrogen. Now for men, it's gonna be testosterone. And see, you can be proactive about that. See, us in the black community, we think you gotta wait till you get older to start taking testosterone. Oh, excuse me. You think you gotta get older. You wait till you get older to take testosterone pills. You don't take testosterone pills at an old age. You start at a young age like an athlete. You start taking testosterone pills. You start taking them, and you're gonna be you're gonna be the masculine man you need to be, like a gladiator. You're gonna perform like a gladiator, taking testosterone pills. You gotta get your testosterone up. Teach your children about that. As soon as they get 18, I'm giving you testosterone pills. Yeah, buddy. Go to the gun range, start shooting guns, testosterone pills. You a gladiator. You an animal. Your woman's happy. You start taking testosterone pills as a young man. Your woman gonna be happy, buddy. You don't gotta take none of them sex pills, Viagra. Viagra don't tell you. All you need is testosterone pills. Your libido gonna be up. You gonna get erections and everything. You just need to take testosterone pills, and your masculinity and your libido gonna be up. They just Jedi mind trick, like, but they know the truth, which is you don't really need, especially as a young man, you don't need no Viagra. You need testosterone pills. You need to get your testosterone up. Okay? And you're gonna be, it's gonna give you erections. You're gonna be, your blood gonna flow right. You're gonna be premium in every way, in every sense of the word, even sexually. That's how much testosterone affects the person. So instead of getting healthy levels of testosterone in your system, see, this is what the white man ain't gonna teach you. He ain't gonna teach you how to make yourself better. In no sense of the word. I mean, how it used to be, he wasn't gonna teach us. He didn't care nothing about that. We never learned. That's what's so sad. We never learned, man. Like, I tell a young dude, especially if he in sports, take your testosterone pills, man. Get your testosterone levels up. Take your vitamins. You know what I'm saying? Get all the vitamins you need for every day to preserve your body. That's how you gonna preserve it. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't gotta take no sex pills. You know, nah. Try testosterone pills, the best kind, the best supplements, the powder. Get the real thing, buddy. Get that potent stuff, that real testosterone potent stuff, man. You get that, man, you ain't gonna need no Viagra, man. You gonna be everything you need to be in the bedroom with your woman, man. I tell you. That's all you need. See, these other people know that. They know that. They know what the natural things you gotta do to get some of these things. Even when it becomes, like, do you know some people are clinically depressed? Some people are clinically depressed because they don't have magnesium. They actually went and got put on other medication on antidepressants because they were deficient in magnesium. When you are deficient in magnesium, you could be depressed and don't even know why. Doctors will come in and prescribe antidepressants of various different kinds, and all you really needed was magnesium to remove depression off of you. That's why I'm never depressed. I take vitamins, everything. I always have a strong sense of well-being. So you ain't gonna understand until you start taking vitamins. You will have a stronger sense of well-being. It's gonna change you. You gonna feel it. You're gonna move differently. You're gonna be stronger in your emotions and your well-being. When you fight war and spiritual war, and there's all this psychological stuff they doing. How can you not take vitamins? Is my question. With the psychological stuff they doing, you take vitamins to strengthen your brain against the stuff. And it don't affect you. How it works, they still doing it, but your mood and mode is not changed by it. And you're quicker on your toes psychologically. You know what I'm saying? So, you gotta take your vitamins. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take, see, we used to thinking like especially in American culture, Flintstone vitamins, that, taking the vitamins like taking Flintstone vitamins. Nah. So you got the Flintstone vitamin mentality. Like, I remember I was a kid, I took the Flintstone vitamins, you know what I mean? Nah, it's a grown man. You got to get educated, man. You need all of that every day. It's not an option. We make it an option, but the way you get away with it is you do eat, right? So you do get some vitamins. You know what I'm saying? You drink orange juice, that's vitamin C. You do stuff, but it's hit and miss. It's almost like, see, that's the goodness of God, because even though you don't really get all the vitamins, long as you eat, God look out for you. You know what I'm saying? As long as you eat, you still getting it. You still getting the vitamins. It's just hit and miss. And then some people go to the next level. It usually starts with people that work out. You start working out, you go to the next level with your understanding on vitamins and everything like that. You start looking up supplements for this and that. So that's one-on-one when you're in spiritual warfare and psychological warfare. If you've been gang stalked or you're in real war, if you got soldiers on the battlefield in whatever country you're in, you need to take vitamins on that battlefield so you can be alert in your mind. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be out there you already barely eating, right? Probably. You ain't eating a lot. Okay, so then you definitely should be taking a vitamin because you ain't eating hardly anything. At least you're gonna have that vitamin on your stomach. So, man, you don't have to take vitamin like medicine. You can take it you don't have to take it with food. So, you got to just bring people out of this whole medication attitude with vitamins. You don't have to take it. Ain't going to burn your stomach if you take it on an empty stomach. It ain't going to do nothing to you. It's a vitamin. It's natural. It's just in a supplement form. And because of that, people think it's synthetic. They think it's synthetic, so to speak, because, It's not, it's literally the vitamin. That's what it is. How is it synthetic when it's literally the vitamin? It's just that it comes in a supplement form, and most people hold this idea of medication, like chemicals, man-made medication. They think a vitamin is like, they don't bring their mind out of man-made medication when it comes to a vitamin. That's not man-made medication. That's gold. That's the best thing you can buy as a human being. Before you get up on your feet, if you poor, if you barely struggling, if you barely eating, man, you need a vitamin. And I recommend getting Centrum, because Centrum, how they beat other multivitamins is they got A to Z. They got all the vitamins in Centrum. That's how they beat the competition, because they got all the vitamins. If you notice, they got that little color spectrum on Centrum with all the different colors. They basically stressing to you that we got all the vitamins in this, all that you could think of, So it's just like, that's why I recommend taking Centrum. You could take it at your age bracket, but make sure you look at the age bracket. Is it giving you still all the vitamins? Like if it says over 50, make sure, look at the original and see if there's a difference of vitamins, if it's some vitamins missing in the over 50. Now you gotta look at it like that, because they might feel, I don't know, you don't need certain. they just making it premium for that age without giving you all the vitamins. It gotta be a difference. But what I would think is over 50 might be more. It should be. It should have already what the original Centrum got and more, right? But I don't know, man. You gotta look. You gotta make sure you look. But you can't go wrong with the original Centrum vitamin. That's the best vitamin, man. I've been taking that over the years, for years, decades, and that's my go-to vitamin, Centrum. And magnesium, it don't matter which brand it is. It don't matter. It don't matter which brand. Centrum should have brought out a magnesium vitamin, because it's the super vitamin. Dr. Oz called magnesium the super vitamin. If you had to get one vitamin, you get magnesium. It's just for overall well-being from head to toe. It's the best vitamin you can get. The single best vitamin you can get. The single best vitamin you can get. If you ain't got no money, you got like $10, when you ain't gonna be able to afford a multivitamin with $10. But you can, in some cases, you can get $5 bottles of magnesium. That's the best single vitamin you can get, and still have an overall sense of well-being and everything, and your body be taken care of. It's good for heart problems, heart attacks and everything. It's good for everything. If you got magnesium, you taken care of. Your heart health is gonna be good. Everything is gonna be good. And if you overdrink, and I'm not condoning drugs, but if you find somebody that's feeling, people that get high know what I'm talking about. You feeling like you might die, you need a vitamin. That's the first thing you need. So sometimes, like when I've been drinking, and I don't feel like I'm gonna die, but I'm like, man, I feel bad. I don't feel so good. I take a vitamin, boom, I'm back up. If you smoke weed, it's been times where I felt funny on this new weed, and the laborious breathing. I know most smokers gonna tell you, smoking weed, you feel like you can't catch your breath, your heart beating fast. Come on, I know this is what weed smokers hide. You hide that when you smoke weed. Sometimes your heart beat fast, your breathing is laborious, and you gotta wait to come down, and then you be like, oh, I'm good, but you felt like you was gonna die. Hey, tell the truth. If you a weed smoker, you ain't never smoked weed and you felt like you was gonna die. But that's the part of being high almost too. It's like a little mix of paranoia with the weed, making your breathing laborious, palpitations, heart beating fast. When at the end of smoking weed, I just stopped checking my heart, because all it's gonna do is get you paranoid. Your heart is beating fast because you smoking weed, so ain't no need to check it. When you're young, that's what you do. Oh man, my heart beating fast. Am I okay? But when you get smarter, when you get older, you realize when you run, you exercise, your heart beat fast for minutes, even hours. It's going to be beating fast the whole time. So then when you get older as a grown man, you're like, oh, well, my heart can beat fast for a long time. Long as I ain't done nothing crazy, within reason now, but it shouldn't be, it ain't going to be too alarming if, because your heart is used to working out and beating fast from working out. So, that's normal. Some things we don't even think about, So just your heart beating fast, even think about when you work out, when you run, you jog, your heart beating fast then. So you can go through that for a little bit. It's only alarming if it's like you ain't smoking no more and you kind of slow it down, but your heart's still beating fast. Usually that's not going to ever happen. Once you stop smoking, you got to think about it. It's strong smoke in your body. That's why your heart beating fast, dealing with the smoke aspect of it. That's all it is. But in cases that I felt a little like weirded out from smoking weed, just weed, it wasn't nothing in it. It's just it's potent. It might make your breathing laborious. You know what I'm saying? That's why at the end of smoking weed, I used to smoke, hit it and put it out. You can't smoke like the 90s, like smoke a whole blunt to the head. No way. These days, kids feel like they wasting. If I smoke a whole blunt, I'm wasting. Unless I was living that lifestyle. If I'm smoking like all the time, that's a different story. But if you like the average smoker, when it's just like the weekend and sometimes during the week kind of smoker, you don't need to smoke a whole blunt of this new stuff, this potent stuff. You hit that a couple times. I might hit it about 2 or 3 times. The best way to measure a strain is to hit it one time. Now I can measure how that really feels. What people mess up is hitting it 5 times and trying to measure the high. No, you don't measure the high like that. You measure the high by the smallest dosage, which is one hit. One hit. I'm going to sit back. Okay, that's how I feel on one hit. Okay. So then I can go from there. Like, I know what I feel like on one hit. Okay, boom, I hit it again. And then usually, once you get used to a strain, by the end of the weekend, you just smoke it. That's usually how it goes. But you got to start out easy. You know what I'm saying? And usually I just hit it, put it out. And then I start playing my old school music. That's how I used to be. Hit it again. I listen to good music, put me in a good mood when I smoke weed, like the old school. I used to put on the R&B and all of that good stuff. I would listen to rap here and there if I'm walking, but once I'm in the house chilling, I'm gonna cook my food and be playing them old jams. You know what I'm saying? To put you in a good mood, make you feel a good sense of well-being. I ain't gonna put on no music that make me feel paranoid, like somebody gonna kick in my door. Hey, that's how a real nigga gonna relate to it, man. I ain't gonna put on no music. Some rap music ain't like that. It's so aggressive. You don't feel like you don't feel that way, do you? But some songs make you feel like, man, somebody might kick in my door. I'm sitting here listening to this music. I'm high. I don't listen to music like that. I listen to music pull me in a whole different vibe. Like I'm just like in a whole love world and a good world. See, that's how I used to do it when I getting older, man. I don't. Nah. Really, I used to listen to more hip hop when I'm kind of like sober. When I'm sober, but not when I'm high and drinking. Like I'm gonna listen to that good feel. You know what I'm saying? That good. You know, put me on that good level. So so I hit that. I hit the weed, put it out, hit a blunt. Okay, I can feel how it made me feel. That's what I learned to do at the end. Hit it and see how you feel. Okay, one time. Because if you hit it like 10 times, that ain't how you gonna feel. How you gonna understand how potent that really is? That way you ain't wasting. Main thing. Because you can't overdose on weed. When paranoia is when you overdose. So you didn't know that. That's the medical overdosing of weed. If you get paranoid, you overdosed. That means you overdosing on weed. That's food for thought. I'm not, listen, I don't condone smoking weed anymore. Like I said, I celebrate 2 years, almost 2 years clean. But I can talk about it intelligently to a certain degree. When you smoke weed and you start getting paranoid, I would even say if your heart started beating fast, you might have overdosed. That's the equivalent. You ain't gonna ever have a heart attack, but that's what we think. Like, oh man, I might have a heart attack, man. And then if you feel like some little pains in your chest, but that's gonna come from potent smoke in your respiratory. All of that's gonna happen sometimes. You know, but the best way to measure a strain is microdosing, which is one hit. Okay, one hitter quitter. You hit it one time. Okay, now you see, oh wow, I'm pretty high just now with that. And then next time you might hit it 2 or 3 times, boom. But you're enjoying this microdosing. Some people don't enjoy microdosing with smoking weed. You feel like you got to smoke a whole blunt. Nah, microdosing is really better. You know, more of a better experience. It's more healthy to me. You know, because weed culture isn't crack culture where you're trying to get high out your mind. That's not the vibe that most weed smokers come from in my day. You know, a weed is not I'm trying to get high as I can kind of drug or intoxicant. You're not trying to get as high as you possibly literally can. You know, it's a certain vibe you're trying to get to. And once you get to that vibe, you don't need no more. You know what I'm saying? Cocaine and other drugs, you're trying to get high as you can. That's their culture. Weed culture ain't trying to get high as you can. But now you got crackhead culture within weed culture where people trying to get high as they can. I mean, don't misunderstand me. Back in the day when I was a teenager, we trying to get high as possible. But that's when you first start smoking. Then you feel it out. You know what I'm saying? Some people never feel it out, man. I can't say I started to feel it out, you know, what it's all about. You know, I started microdosing and that was better for me. You know, I hit it, start cooking me some food, fry some fish, put on my old school music, fry me some fish, eat me some, you know, cook me some good food. Now I know what I'm dealing with, the strain I'm dealing. Okay, I know what that feel like, so I can tell how I felt off that one hit. It's just a talent, you know. Okay, I know if I hit it this many more times, that's how I'm gonna feel. If I hit it, I'm gonna feel 5 times. If I feel like this off of one hit, 5 hits, I'm gonna feel 5 times higher. See what I'm saying? That's just simple math in this situation. So that's why you find more people just say, okay, I hit about 3 times. I hit about 3 times and put it out, and that's it. But once you get in the groove of listening to music, most people gonna turn up. And if you mix it with alcohol, now you smoking. Now you can smoke, hit it 4, 5, 6, 7 times. You know what I'm saying? You're going a little harder. You know what I'm saying? But in the beginning of the weekend, you got to start off. For the average smoker, you got to hit that, put it out. Fill out especially if you got a strain from people that keep all different various strains and they selling different stuff at any given time. To fill that particular strain out that you might have not got last week, you're going to microdose, hit it one time. That's the best thing to do. Hit it one good time, boom, put it out. Start cooking. Cause me, I like to do stuff. I cook, listen to my music, sing, stuff like that, be singing and stuff. Hey, my landlord called me one time, yeah, people complaining about you singing. I was like, oh man, he started laughing. I was like, man, I smoke my weed and start singing, bro. That's what black people gonna do, boy. Start smoking. See, that's the vibe you're supposed to be. That's how weed is. That's the real weed culture vibe, man. You're supposed to be singing and chilling and everything like that. That's a herb. You're supposed to be kind of like, not like a drug, you know. You're supposed to be singing and happy vibes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I used to smoke weed with a Jamaican dude, you know what I'm saying? Like a real Jamaican, straight Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? More than one, but the first Jamaican dude I started smoking with, he taught me about I. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't know about I. I'll sum it up for an American, for a black person. You know, I is like a I, I-N, and I. I-N-I. is basically when you smoke weed, you see who you are and you get you learn how to critique yourself and make yourself better. How I put it, a southern dude from North Carolina, I already had an idea what I was when I smoked weed. I used to call it I get game. I used to get game when I get hot. You know what I'm saying? You smoke, you look in the mirror. Usually I is good if you grew up smoking weed, you get high and look in the mirror, don't you? So, you know, did that many nights, you know what I'm saying? Smoking weed, especially when you smoke, you're a bona fide weed smoker, you smoke by yourself. So you know, you've been by yourself, you ain't got nothing to do, you ain't got nobody to entertain, you get high, you look in the mirror, right? You get I, which is I'm looking at myself, I'm high, and I'm seeing how I can be better. Maybe it's my hairstyle, and I will make you make a cool hairstyle. Like the curls, I didn't think to do that. When I was high, and I came up with that, and you don't forget it. Like, oh yeah, you know, I done got my game up. I know how to do that. I do that extra cleaning on my face, and you do something better. That's I. But see, I put it like this from the South. I made up my own coin, my own term. You get game. You get game when you get high. Game for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You get game and you like learn, you know, how to be better. You know what I'm saying? You learn how to think better. You know what I'm saying? That's why people think weed is good for them, because they get I, you know, and you come up with these great ideas while you high, and it's like I come up with these great ideas while I'm high all the time. That's why you can't stop some people from smoking weed, because they're gonna be like, man, they ain't gonna know. Back to once again, it's gonna be hit and miss. They ain't gonna know they get I. That's why it's so sad to not be educated, because if you're not educated, it's hit and miss on everything you do. Even sex. If you're not educated on sex, it's going to be hit and miss with pleasing your woman or your man. If you got to know anything, for anything to be great, you got to have education. I don't care what it is, even sex. If you don't know what you're doing with a woman, it's going to be hit and miss with pleasing her. And every once in a while you might, but when you know what you're doing, it's going to be every time. Yeah. Like, so when you smoke, when people smoke weed, it's hit and miss a lot of times, especially you know, you just start smoking because everybody else doing it, but you never get around somebody that really educates you on, you know what I'm saying? If you're lucky in your lifetime, you might, like, you know, like me, I had a Jamaican dude told me, like, yeah, you know, I is what you get, you know, you smoke weed and you see into yourself and who you are and what you about, you know what I'm saying, and what you stand for, you know what I'm saying, and I used to do that as a kid all the time. I used to sit and smoke a blunt, and even once I became a man, I smoke a blunt, look in the mirror, and get my game up. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's my hair, how I wear my hair, how I clean the house. You ever been high and you clean the house real good? You go behind the nooks and crannies, you going all out. You clean everywhere. You putting water down, little detergent over here, little detergent over there. You cleaning everything, that extra clean. That's that I. You going to the next level with it. You know what I'm saying? You clean everything. When you get that I, if you hit it just right, your weed dosage just right, that I, you start cleaning up everything, making it look good, all the nooks and crannies, stuff that you wouldn't usually do. That's why people think, how can this be wrong if I feel so energetic and I get this good feeling? They don't know what it is. It's I. How I put it, from the South, me, you know, how an American will understand it is you get game. You get game every time you smoke. That gives you more clarity as an American. You get game. You know, you get game on how to carry yourself. You might sit back and smoke and be how you need to approach women. You might think about it. You might be watching a movie and you high. And you're thinking about how you approach women better, and boom, you got game from it. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't pay attention, but that's what it was. You got game. You got, literally, no pun intended, you got game sitting there smoking. You know what I'm saying? And then anything else, you know, you might even smoking weed playing spades. You get I playing spades. You know how to do this a little better. But you ain't really paying attention. You're like, okay, your I is kicking in. You know what I'm saying? Now you know how to do this better. You know how to play your hand a little better. You know how to use your spades better. Because once you got all spades, there ain't nothing else to do but let your partner get all their spades and get all their books. Once they get all their books, you clean your house. You don't show no mercy. By the time you become a spade master, this is how you know you're a spade master. Is because if you got all the spades, the object is who got the spades. That's why it's called spades. Whoever got the spades, the master becomes the killer. Which means, I know I got all these spades. I'm going to let my partner get all his or her books. And once she get all his or her, get all her books, he or her get all their books. Once they get their books out the way, I'm killing everybody. And that's how you know you became the master. Some people don't do that. If you even though you got all the spades, you're not a killer. You can have all the spades, but you're not a killer in your psychology. You show mercy. So if you don't get anything for spades, becoming a master and how you apply it to life, when you got all the spades, you show no mercy, bro. You don't just say, okay, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna just play a nice game. I know I got all the spades. I'm gonna just be nice. I know I got all the spades. I'm gonna just be nice. No, you're trying to create a killer. You raise kids, young kids. I'm making you a killer. You learn to play spades, boy. Cause when you got all those spades, ain't nothing left to do. Ain't no need to listen. Listen. You let your partner get all their books, and you kill the opposition. You don't give them no time. Some people play around. It's like this type of dude. Okay. Your partner. This is to show you how you can have all the spades, but you ain't a killer. You let your partner get all the his books, his or her books, right? Okay, boom. They got all their books. Now, you play it. The next time you play your hand, right? You throw out something else. Let's just say you got maybe like a king, a diamond. Let's say you throw that out. Boom. Let's just say you figure let's say your partner had an ace of diamond. You threw out king of diamond. Now you can get those books because they got the ace and they can't nobody beat it. So that's an extra book. Okay, you can do that. But it comes a point when you start playing these other little cards instead of playing the spades and just dropping down. Instead of playing around, just drop down. And that's how you become the master. That becomes the killer. Now you don't master spades. Now you spades. You spades. Because when you got them, you become the killer. You don't play them other little books, in other words. That's better to say. You don't play them other little books and let people play around with you and let your partners get books. You see what I'm saying? You shut them down. And then those other little books they was going to get beside the spades, you beat that. They can't cut. That too. They can't cut. Because you're going to take all them spades. Then you play them other little books and they can't cut. Because if they don't got a certain suit, right? And you throw out them other little cards that's not spades, they can cut that if they ain't got it. You see what I'm saying? If they don't got it, they can cut it. And they still get books. So you shut them down and then throw all that other stuff out and they look pathetic. That's how you're supposed to make them look. See, when you a killer, you don't mind making people look pathetic. Yeah, I'm going to throw out all these spades and I throw out them dookie cards. What, you got heart of 10 or heart of queen, heart of jack? Go ahead and throw that out. Because I got a heart of queen. Boom, I beat that. I got that too. You see what I'm saying? You learn, once you have become the spade master, you show no mercy. That's the whole object of the game. Besides the obvious, we talk about being a master. The master takes his spades and kill everybody. But he makes sure, now a person that trying to show out, most likely for females, you'll notice a man, you know what kind of man you're dealing with how he plays spades around women, right? No, I'm serious. Because he gonna try to show out. And then you wind up making your partner lose their books. You know you got all the books. You don't throw your spades out yet to try to impress impress these females that you playing with. Nah, you don't do that. See, a sucker try to do that. Yeah, here we go, boom. Here we go, boom. Nah, look out for your partner. Then your partner bid 3 books. Your partner bid 3 books. Okay, don't make them throw out their spades because you trying to show off. Let them get them 3 books and then kill everybody. That's how you do it. That's how you do it, big baby. And until you master that, see, and then everything under that, it's all about that too. Trying to kill people as much as you can. That's it. Trying to kill them as much as you can. That's what you got to do. Once you got all the spades, it's over. It's absolutely over. It's obvious. You finna get all these books. They ain't finna get nothing. You kill them. You make them pathetic. And then once you get all those books, whatever they got left, you can beat that because they ain't gonna be able to cut it. You don't force them to throw out all their spades. They gotta play the spades. See, you getting rid of all the spades because they gotta play them. Once you done got rid of all them spades and you won, okay, they can't cut nothing. See, so I learned with time, man, just playing spades over and over and over and over and over. I played with my family. I grew up playing spades with my family, but I wasn't no master. Now, I'm an animal. I know what to do. You know what I'm saying? But I grew up just like everybody else. Black people playing spades with their family. You know what I'm saying? We either play spades. On the West Coast, they play dominoes. Over here on the South, we play spades. You know what I'm saying? That's what we play. We don't play dominoes. No. And even in Charlotte, they don't really shoot craps or gamble like that, like shoot dice. Nah, that's to me, that's kind of maybe Midwest or but it's not more a cultural thing. Everybody learned it because of the internet and everything. But really from old school, you really didn't. As far as I know, I didn't really people shooting dice. I mean, it really wasn't big in my city like that. Spades is what they played. Now I'm not saying people didn't because obviously it became a national thing, but I didn't see it. I didn't hear about it. I didn't hear nobody referencing to it or anything like that. So I figure old school dudes in Charlotte might have played shoot craps or what they call craps or shoot dice. But like my age and a little bit older, 20s, and I didn't hear anybody in my city talking about it. So anyway, I don't know how they gambled. Different cities, I think they gamble differently. But men shooting dice is a black, just like spades is a black game like spades. They probably was, but I didn't see it in Charlotte. I'm just being honest with you. I ain't seen nobody talk about it. Now everybody gambles like playing shooting dice. But you really can gamble with spades. You can gamble with spades. Tunk. I think I remember people hustling for gambling for tunk. But yeah, so that's what the spade master do, and you apply that to life, man. When you know you got it, like me, I got all spades in life. You apply just like chess. You apply chess to life. You black. You apply spades to life. Just like white boys started out chess. Who you think started saying chess as life? They did. White people. That wasn't no black game. It is now, but it wasn't a black game. Spades is a black game. White people don't really play spades like that. We do, right? So you will learn to apply and make analogies with life with spades. And so when the object is when you got all the spades, you clean house. In other words, when you know you got all the ammunition, like I do. They marrying children in this country. That's the spades, buddy. And you can't do nothing, man. You playing with me, but y'all marrying children. That's the ace and the king and the queen and the jack. Some people say that's all of it. You can't be marrying no children talking about some pedophiles. I got all the spades, and that's why I'm going to keep using it like I'm supposed to. That's why I'm going to keep dropping it. I'm going to keep dropping that ace of spade. Because I know... Listen, but I know you can't beat it. Just like in spades. You can't beat that. Go ahead and throw out them cards. That's what you tell the people. Go ahead and throw it out. Go ahead. Start talking junk. You know how you do. When you got all the spades. Go ahead and throw it out, buddy. Hey, buddy. Why you taking so long? It ain't hard to figure out, though. You ain't gonna beat that. So, all right, what's so hard to figure out? That's how you get everybody laughing. What's so hard to figure out here? You can't beat that. You gonna beat it? You gonna beat that? Okay, so look. They can't beat no child marriage laws in the United States of America, and y'all didn't know about it. And they've been marrying children. They cannot beat that. No, buddy. What you got to beat that? Huh? Your whole environment has been marrying children. Listen. I have become a spade master. I'm cleaning house on everybody. All these people talking reckless. All these people out here in the streets. All these people in the government. All these police. I'm cleaning house on everybody, man. You can't beat it, bro. You can't beat it. See, you learn from spades when they can't beat it. They can't beat that. They can't beat that. And you show no mercy. You show no mercy. They wasn't going to show you none. You show no mercy. You throw spade after spade after spade. You show them through all time. They've been marrying children since 1929. They've been the whole time. That's one spade. They passed new laws of child marriage when Donald Trump was in the White House. That's another spade. And then you got the world record for the lowest age of consent worldwide. That's 7 years old. That's another spade, buddy. You got a whole history of this stuff. So you couldn't talk about it ever. You could never really lock a person up ever for that. That's how you do it. They play games, we play spades. And guess what? Listen, with the spade master, I'm going to be a killer. Listen, that's what you're supposed to do. That's the object of the game. See, maybe those who taught you how to play didn't teach you. The object of the game is to make you a killer. You didn't realize that, did you? Because when you get all the spades, jackpot. Now you hit it good. Now you are playing the object of the game, so to speak. Now you got the ideal situation for the game of spades. And now you could not know what to do if you ain't been taught by the right teachers. You kill. That's what you do. You wait for your partner to get their spades, and you don't listen. You don't play no games with nobody, buddy. You don't play no games. You force them to throw all them spades out, all them weak spades out. You get them all out the way. Ain't no way they gonna look pathetic after they start throwing stuff out. After that, it's gonna look pathetic. They gonna hate it. That's what's gonna make you laugh. Everything they throw out after you done threw out all them spades. That's becoming the killer, and you will be surprised at how many people is hit and miss with that. You know you got it, but you ain't the killer. Once you got no spades, you still ain't the killer yet. Until you really realize this. It take a little more effort. You know you can win with all them spades, but you ain't the killer. When you the killer, you let your partner get all they books, and you clean house. You clean house. You get him and her out the way, and boom. Once they get them 3 books, that's it, buddy. That's how you do it. That's how you do it, buddy. You show no mercy. You show no mercy. That's the main principle you learn in spades. Kill and show no mercy. Because eventually you're going to get all the spades, and you got to know what to do. You keep playing rounds, you keep playing different rounds. Eventually you're going to get all the spades. Eventually. And when you do, you got to kill. You show no mercy. You don't let them get nothing if you can help it. That's how you do it. And you learn to apply this to everything else. See, these board games along the way, we learn to apply these things to life. Spades is a tricky one where people didn't really they didn't really understand how to apply it to life. You become the killer. You let your partner get their spades, and you kill everybody. That's the object. That's what you get that you apply to life. You show no mercy. Especially when people been opposing you. You now show no mercy. You got all these spades. You got anointing. You got a relationship with God. Listen, buddy, you show no mercy, buddy. You put money out there. You got money on the way. I got money on the way to the Middle East right now. I done sent money to the Middle East. Do you think this is a game, bro? I said, I'm sending money to the Middle East right now, right above Israel. Lebanon, that's the country above Israel. I go look and find countries on the map so I can place them in my mind mentally. Lebanon is above Israel. I done sent money over there. And I'm glad I sent it before the plane shut down. They stopped sending, the mail can't get over there if it get too bad. So I done sent that money just in time. I sent 4 million, I sent 16 million. See, once you know, just like my EB, whatever you use, it could be a spade. You got to know how to make it a spade. You can make something a spade. When my EBT, I made it a spade. I used it and flipped it and sent it to different countries. My cash hits and made it $4 million, $16 million. The last thing I sent was 16 million. And I'm just low key in here, dolo, just chilling. They don't even know how to make $16 million transaction. It's hell. They ain't even there yet. You know what I hit? Since that war in Iran, I sent $4 million over there before, and it hit. It's supposed to have, I think it already hit before that war started. That's the 4 million I already sent over there. I sent another 16 million. That's $20 million to the Middle East. I sent 1 million down there to Colombia. See, why I went over there is because I found the currency is the value exchange is the highest over there. So it was a no-brainer. God knew I was gonna jump right on it. It was a no-brainer. I'm gonna kill him. I ain't doing nothing else. That's a spade. I'm gonna drop that ace of spade every single time. While I could be dealing with Colombia, because I like the Colombian people that I give to, but the currency exchange is not more than over there in the Middle East. Like that, I done said $16 million. You hear me? 16 million. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. I put down everything else I was doing and zeroed in on that and made sure I sent $16 million to them people. That ain't even hit yet. That's on the way now. That just left like 2-3 days ago. It couldn't be there now. You know what I'm saying? That's on the way right now as I speak, going through the whole system of the whole American system. And everybody's letting it happen based on everything they did. You see, what you don't know about me, they did stuff to me on purpose. They gave me HIV on purpose. It's one thing to be gay and you be out there in the streets and you dirty and you mess around, get HIV, messing with the wrong person. It's another thing for the Freemasons and the secret societies to send somebody to you and give you HIV on purpose. That's why everybody let me do this. Because they sympathizing with it. You can't do nothing but sympathize with that. Somebody gave you HIV on purpose. Because I was the type of person taking PrEP. What you don't know, I wasn't no dirty hoe. See, they'll tell you I was a dirty hoe. When I knew I was having sex with people every day, and I was getting money, you know what I'm saying? And I was getting off the streets and I was selling my body. I put myself on PrEP because I knew what lifestyle I was living. I was not just having sex. I was getting money. I got money from my first transaction. And it wasn't, this person gave me money. So I came into it from the first time getting money. And I got off the streets literally many nights selling my body. From being homeless to getting in a hotel room, getting pizza, cigarettes, Newport 100s, liquor, everything. Sitting up in the room watching HBO. See, I done seen the game feed me. That's why I understand why people are loyal to the game. That's why I don't snitch on the game. I ain't never put nobody in prison for the game. You know what I'm saying? Because the game feed people. And people have respect for it because it feeds people. You wouldn't understand. This is why people in the streets don't. The community, it's not just criminal. You being loyal to criminals. You being loyal. People are being loyal to something that fed them many nights. When you had nothing and you feel that come up and you come off the streets and you get food. See, some people don't know that feeling. When you're one transaction to one transaction of getting off the street. You need a transaction to get you off the street, and you feel that feeling when that transaction gets you off the street. Whatever hustle game you got, that's the game feeding you, right? So then they eliminate people who play with the game, and you got money off of it, and then you go run and snitch on the game that fed you. You go snitch on the players in the same game, and that same game fed you. So that's what is the foundation for why people kill people out there. Because the game fed you. You was right here getting money with us. You know what it was to come up and go get a pack of cigarettes and pack down a pack of cigarettes. You done came up. And now you're going to go to the police. You see that part? That's what people kill off of. It's not because you snitched. It's because the same game fed you that fed us. The same game that fed us fed you. It's that too. So I know what it's like to come up off the streets, homeless, nothing, nobody to help you, and then a game feeds you. Not people, the game. Because the game is what it consists of, the activity, right? And so when I knew I was living a certain lifestyle in the game, about 10 years ago, I started taking PrEP, which is to prevent you from getting HIV. Now, if I had not taken that precaution when I could, once I understood, right, once I found that, then you could say, oh, well, that person deserved it because they was living the way they was living. I'm saying at face value for people that live that way, that understand it, and people that understand that lifestyle, that promiscuous lifestyle, right? If they understood that I was just not taking no precaution, then you might say, you might have less considered compassion. But you knew this person was taking PrEP. Like my doctor, my nurse that gave me my PrEP, she was like, man, when she found out I had HIV, she was like, man, you was taking PrEP. She said it. She brought it up. She was like, wow, you was taking PrEP. I was like, yeah, I know. They said that. So I took precaution, and I didn't put nobody in harm's way. That's what you got to look at. I wasn't out there just sleeping around, and I'm putting other people in harm's way. I took a precaution when I didn't have to. I didn't have to take no PrEP, Truvada. If people know what that is, Truvada, PrEP. I was taking Truvada. So I didn't have to take that. I was taking that because of the lifestyle I was living, because that's how, now you hear me talk about vitamins and everything else, so now it adds up. When I knew I was living like that, I took a precaution. I took Truvada, and nobody ever got an STD from me, ever. Nobody ain't never come to me and say, yo, you gave me this, yo, you gave me, no, nobody, ever. That includes every woman I ever had sex with, interacted with. Ain't none of them ever complained about that. I ain't never given nobody no STD in my life. So you might assume that because a person got an STD or HIV that they gave it to somebody. That's not necessarily true. Because once they got the medicine, they ain't give it to nobody. They got it from somebody, but once they got the medicine, they didn't give it to nobody. If you was getting checkups like you're supposed to, you found out. You're supposed to be responsible. You're supposed to be out there in the streets. I found out eventually. But I found out because I went to the hospital for something else, and that's how I found out. Once I got on medication right away. I got mine right away, knocked it down to undetectable, boom, that was it. And I ain't never give it to nobody. I ain't never give nothing to nobody, not for malicious nature. I would never do that to nobody. But somebody did it to me on purpose. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the war is so fierce. If you don't know, it's a difference. It's one thing to be a gay guy that got HIV, and you try like you an OG in my situation. Where, like, I got HIV too, but you ain't have nobody intentionally give it to you. That can break somebody, that somebody would do that to you. So that's why so many people have compassion on me. That's what set me aside to my own story besides the average gay person that got HIV. Nobody didn't give it to you on purpose like they did me. You see what I'm saying? So that's why, man, that's why the war is the way it is, bro. Because you might say, well, we all got it, that's how it is. Nah, not in my case, buddy. They gave it to me on purpose, and I was a person that took responsibility for my lifestyle by taking Truvada. I have people that can vouch for that. I got records that can vouch for that. Once you know I was taking Truvada, you can't say, oh, I was out here dirty and that's what happened. That's a result of how I was living. I was taking Truvada. That was my mentality. Long as I could prove that, you gotta have compassion. Like, man, this person, he was out there and he took precaution for other people, and then people went to the other extreme of taking precaution for other people and gave him that on purpose. And see, that's why, man, this is why gay people get treated like they do in my politics. Because obviously it was a gay man that gave it to me on purpose. So then most people say, you ain't got nothing to explain, blood. You ain't got nothing to explain. Somebody give you young blood, you ain't got nothing to explain because they gave it to you on purpose. You ain't got to say nothing to them gay people no more if you don't want to. Listen, you ain't got nothing to prove. You outrank them based on what they did to you. And it speaks collectively, if that makes sense. Yes, you outrank them. They conspired more than one, knew what they was doing and all of that. They knew what was going on. And they did that to you. You know it was more than one. That's all you need. And you won. You beat them. They ain't gonna never be able to come back from that. As far as you go, they can do. As far as other people, it's a different situation. But as far as you, listen, man, you gotta pass on everything how you feel about them people. And they gave you HIV on purpose, bro. Don't you ever let nobody make you feel different, or America tell you how you should feel about gay people. And they done gave it. They've been so nasty and dirty. They gave it to you on purpose. That's all I gotta say. That's all. That's my checkmate. I don't gotta say nothing else. Once I took HIV off y'all, that was it, bro. I don't gotta explain nothing. I don't gotta say nothing to you no more. And anything on purpose. That's one thing. If I was out there and just on purpose, I don't gotta say nothing to him no more. But I'm still a person that I pardon, which means I don't play. I don't hurt people just for no apparent reason. I pardon people, and they don't pay attention to that because I'm a dangerous person. So my pardon is valuable. You know what I'm saying? I carry weapons, everything. My pardon is valuable. You respect, you cherish that. Especially based on what they've done to me. You cherish that, buddy. You act like you realize I got strength for walking around like that. By giving you pardon, that's strength on my behalf. And that's how I expect you to see it. So man, that's the real politics and everything, man. I'm just keep coming back on this. Blessings.